An OFC Defensive Player of the Week. He is from Western Connecticut State University, bringing a strong background of wrestling, rugby, and football. Number 56, Jordan Fletcher. Another Lucas graduate here. He was an OFC All-Star receiver in 2018 and 2019. He was the William L. Chu Award winner, which is given to a returning Beefeater player who's taken on a leadership role with the team and is expected to continue to be a major team leader the following year. He also won the 2018 Bill Garris Trophy for Rookie of the Year. Number 20, Spencer Foster. Okay, we need some time for this one, folks. This guy is from Clarkson Secondary School in Mississauga. He's been with the Beefeaters since 2017. He was the OFC Offensive Rookie of the Year in 2017. He was the Bill Garris Rookie of the Year Award winner. He was the 2017 MVP for the Beefeaters. The 2018 Offensive Player of the Year for the Beefeaters. In 2019, that award was dedicated as the Ron Almeida Offensive Player of the Year. He was the CJFL and OFC Offensive Player of the Week in Week 5 this year. Our quarterback, who currently holds the Beefeater record of most passing touchdowns for the Beefeaters with 46, number 4, Clark McCallum. Last but not least, went to Beale. How he learned football this well, I don't know. Oh, shots fired. In 2019, he was the most improved player for the Beefeaters. And a touchdown. In Week 3, he earned both CJFL and OFC Defensive Player of the Week awards with 9 tackles, 6 solo, 1 interception, and a touchdown. The baddest man on the planet, number 8, Cody McRoberts.
Is he all right? Oh, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the field the rest of your Beefeaters under head coach Gavin Lake.
We had to run half practice. We only had 12 games. I remember.
Remove your hats and join Jennifer Annan in the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love. from far and wide. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God, keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Talented Jen Annan, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, here we are. Ron, welcome back to London, Ontario, Citywide Field on this lovely Saturday evening. We got power, we got sunshine, and most importantly, we have football. I'm Matt Snyder. With me, the PhD of local football commentary, Professor Ron Forwarda for the London Beefeaters versus the Quinte Skyhawks. Ron, a great game. We're kind of in the meat and potatoes of the Beefeater season. What do you think about tonight's game?
I think it's really going to be offensively coming down to the running attack. Look for a young player, LJ Dyer, the graduate out of South, to really step up the game. Another guy that we're quite fond of, Tazi Van Bell, is not playing tonight, so that's unfortunate. Defensively, again, it kind of all starts with the linebackers and Mo Kadri, the Lucas grad, I believe playing his last home game for the Beefeaters. Again, last home game for the Beefeaters tonight, 4-2, number 6 in the country, taking on the 2-4 Quinte Skyhawks.
First year in the OFC for the Quinte Skyhawks, a proud program. They've moved up from the summer football ranks, putting in a junior team, and I'll tell you what, based on their uniforms alone, I already like what I see. We're moments away from kickoff here with Leo Cantino kicking off for the Beefeaters. Ron, Tazi Van Bell out for tonight's game. How does that affect you as a coach when you lose your go-to running back?
Well, not only that, but Tazi a couple of weeks ago was the special team player in Canada. So he won the award. Losing him, it's going to cause other players to have to step up and see what they can really do. And again, Tazi's a second-year player, second year of eligibility, and some of these younger guys who are in their first year of eligibility, next guy up. Next guy up's got to play and step up. See if the Beefeaters can continue to dominate on special teams like they have all year long.
The Beefeaters have a plethora of running backs behind Bell. We've seen LJ Dyer carry the load in a couple games this year. Klubine from Beale is a strong running back as well. So definitely not short of the running back position. Obviously losing Bell tonight will be something that you don't want to have to deal with in an ideal circumstance, but they definitely have guys ready to step up and make plays. I expect to see, and I know you mentioned him earlier, a strong game out of LJ Dyer, and Klubine will likely get a bunch of carries as well for the Beefeaters. They look to be a team trying to establish the run. I know Coach Lake, as the weather turns in the football season, he's a strong believer in having a strong run game, and then with senior quarterback Clark McCallum behind center, you can always throw the ball when you need to, Ron. So we're looking to have a great game. We're just moments away from kickoff here as the referees crew gets everything set. Small issue with the clock, but they'll have that resolved in moments, and we'll be good to go. And I noticed walking in, we are going to be graced with the A crew of London referees tonight. Some of the stronger, more experienced referees in London, so it should be a pretty well refereed game.
Yeah, it'll be a great game to be refereeing. And again, thank you to everybody for allowing us to broadcast. Thank you for letting us come into your homes tonight. I appreciate this on a Saturday evening. Early part of fall at this point, Matt. It's getting chilly. You better run the ball, even on the passing game. Like you look at the Baltimore Ravens, who are really a pass-first team, how much they have to run the ball, how much that power run game really comes into effect. Coach Gavin Lake, he understands that, especially the colder it gets, the more you'll be able to pound that rock.
Coach Gavin Lake's been a part of some pretty important cold weather games. I think going down to Hamilton in the middle of November, when he was part of the Argos staff, was definitely gave him some experience running the football when the weather turns. So expect to see some strong run game out of the Beefeaters. And the defense has been outstanding so far this year, led by linebacker Tyler Thompson out of London South. Obviously, the defensive line's a powerful unit as well. So I expect to see some good pass rush from the Beefeaters defensively. Who do you like on the London Beefeaters tonight?
Yeah, I really like the young man out of Western Kentucky, Mr. Fletcher. He's had himself a heck of a season so far. And again, for me, it's all the linebacker play, and it all starts with the veteran Mo Kadri out of Lucas. Again, on Alumni Day, Matt, really thanks to everyone for allowing us in. Again, the pressure on this Quinte team is going to come from the edges and straight up the middle. And I just know that's kind of a two-edged sword, but really the defensive ends are really going to collapse things down and look for the pressure from the linebackers to come up and step up, and that's really going to clean it up. I think it's really important for Quinte, like London, to establish some type of ground game in tonight's game. It was raining a little bit earlier today. It is cool. The ball is going to be slick. You've got to be able to run the rock this time of year.
For sure, and London football fans, older football fans will recognize one name on the Quinte roster. Head coach and offensive coordinator Warren Goalie, former Western Mustangs star quarterback. He leads the team in their first year in the OFC. Ron, what do you talk a little bit about being an expansion team at this level of football? How does that change kind of your approach? Are you maybe looking longer term versus for immediate gains?
Yeah, what you have to do at that point is kind of, that you're going to be a year or two away. But a lot of teams were in the same situation with last year, the COVID. There was no season. They get an opportunity to expand in. But a first-year team, they've had some success. They're 2-4. Hey, they haven't lost all the games, so they've had a little bit of success. Let's see if they can win a really, really tough road game here in London.
Well, it looks like we got the clock issues are resolved, and we are ready for kickoff here. Santino with the kickoff. Short kick onside. London Beefeaters going for it at the start, and we got a jump ball. It could be a London Beefeater recovery. We got a pile. The referees will wait for the signal, but London Beefeaters recover the opening kickoff. What a call from Coach Lake to onside, surprise onside to start the game. What do you think about that call, Ron?
That's a gutsy call, especially early in the game. On the first play of the game, you're basically saying, no, we want to. Not only do we want the ball, we want to establish something early. And Quinte, on the road, the Skyhawks, they better come up with an answer. I know that they were getting ready to play some defense, or some offense. Now you got to switch gears pretty quick. See what the Beefeaters got in mind to start this game.
Here we go, McCallum in the shotgun. He is flanked, it looks like, by Klubine. 3 receivers to the bottom of your screen for the Beefeaters to start. McCallum sends his receivers in motion, takes a snap, hands off to Klubine. Klubine up the middle for a short gain. It'll be 2nd and 8. Tell us about that run.
Just a straight inside zone play, straight up the gut on the left-hand side. So a little bit of a laser there. Really good play by, I believe it was number 68 from the Quinte Skyhawks, who came from the outside linebacker defensive end position to collapse down and really clean up nowhere for Mr. Klubine to go.
68, Caleb Belfry, 6'4", 270 defensive lineman. Same formation for the Beefeaters on 2nd and long. Callum sends receivers in motion, Klubine out. Quick pass, a screen pass to Foster to the left side. He's up field, but he's going to be short, and it'll be a 3rd and probably 6 yards to go. First tough decision for Coach Lake. Go for it or punt. What do you think, Ron?
Early in the game, you already did a kind of trick play to start the game. Maybe you punt the ball away, but the way that they're kind of playing right now, I wouldn't be surprised if they leave the offense out, as that's what it looks like they're doing.
Coach Lake making some hard decisions to start the game with his gambling boots on, going for it on 3rd and 5 for the Beefeaters. McCallum in the shotgun. He's got Klubine behind him. 3 receivers to the bottom of the screen. The same formation London will be in most of the game. Motion. McCallum back to pass. He's got Foster across the middle. He dumps it off to Klubine. Klubine's got the first down and more. He's running. He cuts back. Huge gain for Klubine on the swing pass. Great decision from McCallum there to convert. And the Beefeaters, with their second gamble of the game, have a drive going. Ron, what do you think?
Great little design. There you go. You got your fast player on a big linebacker. It's going to be a tough matchup for him if they're going to line up their outside linebacker, or that's the Mike backer that scraped over. As you see him just sliding over and quite get there. You had a nice under route there.
Number 2 is the call against the Beefeaters.
As there's a penalty on the play.
Back that up 15 yards.
And now they're going to punt.
3rd down and short converted goes to 3rd and long, and London will punt. It looks like on the formation, London brought a receiver, Foster, down in motion and created a little pick on the linebacker for Quinte, which allowed Klubine to get free. But unfortunately, the penalty drives London in a position where now Coach Lake has no decision but to punt. Tough call for the London Beefeaters after gambling twice in the start of the game and having success on both, but it'll be 3rd and long, and they will punt the ball to Quinte here. McCallum, good drive on the first series, found the receiver there. Going back to the onside kick, is that something that you see on film during the week, or is that a decision you kind of make driving into the stadium, Ron?
I think that's something that you spotted on film. You think you have an advantage on something, or you want to plant something in the seed for a few weeks from now when the playoffs hit.
Santino back to punt. He's got to scramble. He's looking to punt. He's got time. He's going to kick it on the run. Actually, a pretty nice punt there. It'll bounce. That'll take a let him bounce. Quinte picks it up, top of the screen, looking for space. And a great special teams tackle there. Looks like it is one of the Kazadi boys. What an interesting play there. The snap was high. It allowed the Quinte Rush to get in there, but Santino was able to find space, kicked actually a pretty nice punt on the move, something I would never be able to do with my athleticism at this age. And London actually turns the field over. What do you think of that, Ron?
So you know what? Great job by the punter. I know a lot of people will say, hey, kickers are not people. Kickers are people too. When you don't got one, you really, really want one. And a great job by the punter, moving to his right, does a little bit of Aussie football kick with that one, drives it downfield inside the 30.
Stevens hands off for Quinte up the field, first down, gain of 3. Quinte comes out in a 2-back formation. I expect to see a little bit more of a 2-back power run game out of Quinte versus London, who's more of a spread offense. But it'll be second and about 7 for Quinte here on the first play of the game. Looks like just a little dive play. Ron, what'd you see there?
Yeah, basically you're getting here. You got the replay, a little bit of cross action. So they're trying to get the pick on a trap coming across there, and they're just running the zone to the outside. Nowhere really to go there.
Quinte, 3 receivers to the top of the screen. Stevens drops back to pass. He's looking down the middle. He's got a receiver on the corner, but it's overthrown. It'll be intercepted by London. 54, Toby Gobinabi. Upfield, I definitely did not pronounce that name wrong. He's cutting back. There's a bunch of flags in the field now. But 54, Toby, I'm going to call him Toby G. Toby G got a great return there. We'll see how the penalties apply, but what'd you see on that play?
This is a great job. You see the linebacker. He's the third man playing in the slot, just backing straight up. They're taking a shot, and he just goes to his zone. He recognizes the fly pattern, and he beats the receiver to the ball. Really not a great pass by the quarterback for Quincy. You got to put that a little bit more on a line for him, unfortunately, in that kind of thing. Post-possession foul, we got unnecessary roughness against the Beefeaters. So it's going to go back to about the 40-yard line here, and we're going to have a first and 10 here for the Beefs.
Well, I'm a Londoner. I'm definitely a homer. I want the London Beefeaters to be successful, but if we had to say, we talked about this the last game, if there's one thing that's really kind of been the thorn in the Beefeater side this year, has been those post-flag or after the whistle penalties, those 15-yarders. How do you correct that as a coach, kind of getting ready for the playoffs?
It's got to come down to discipline. You've got to maintain composure during the game, and it's something that a lot of these kids have to learn and really take advantage of.
McCallum looking to scramble, completes upfield, 89. Wolf Sim, first down.
89, Wolf Sim.
I heard a whistle on the play, but it could have been from the soccer game behind us, which confused the heck out of me. But a great play from McCallum to scramble, keep his eyes downfield, and find Sim for the first down. And London Beefeaters are driving with the ball at center field. First and 10. What'd you see there, Ron?
Yeah, McCallum does a great job escaping a little bit of pressure there, rolling to his right. Sims understanding the scramble rules, comes back, sets up, gives him a nice big target. Great gain of about 15 yards on that, Matt.
McCallum's really settled down as the year went on. Definitely his veteran leadership is coming out to play. 3 receivers at the top of the screen for London. McCallum in the shotgun, moves the formation. He fakes the handoff. He's looking to throw the ball. Great catch from Sim, but he drops it. He had Sim on, looks like the RPO, but Sim unable to haul it down. 2nd and 10 for London. Why don't you talk a little bit about the RPO game that London likes to go to?
So the RPO game is basically, it is a run-pass option, and you're trying to get the defense to commit one way or another, and you're just trying to hit the other one. So you show the run, get the linebacker step up, and then it's a quick post or a quick out or something to get that space in between the safety and the linebacker. That's the sweet spot. Again, Sims had it, but unfortunately not able to squeeze it all the way.
Callum in the shotgun again. He's flanked by Klubine. 3 receivers to the top of the screen. A lot of motion for London. McCallum back to pass. He's got Klubine in the flats. He's got time. McCallum throws it upfield. And he's got Mitchell Spence for the first down. Great throw from McCallum, who sat there forever looking, and found Spence on the out.
Let's give credit where the credit is due. What a great pocket there for the Beefeaters' offensive line. No pressure whatsoever for Quinte. They're rushing 4. 6 guys stayed in. You even see the running back, Kulabine, looking around. Who do I got? At the very end, able to step up. Nice 15-yard completion again, Matt. So there's a couple completions downfield. Big chunks of yards that are happening here.
McCallum is definitely kind of, like I said earlier, he settled down as the year went on. He's starting to find his rhythm in the pocket. He's looking to his first, second read, and I feel like he's going to be a huge factor for the Beefeaters if they make a run this year, because his strong leadership and his calming influence as a veteran is going to be something the Beefeaters will lean on.
Yeah, he has to. For the Beefeaters to make the run, he has to play his best football, has to be played going forward.
Callum hands off to Klubine up the middle. Klubine's in the free. He's got a lot of space. Tackle for another first down. And at this point in the game, almost 5 minutes in, London is moving the football, Ron.
You know, this is, again, I said it last time on the last play. Look at that pocket. Look at the run lane that the Beefeaters offensive line absolutely obliterates the defensive line for the Quinte Skyhawks. And Klubine's 8 yards downfield before he's even touched, and a great scamper of about 15, 17 yards. So the Beefeaters are getting big chunks of yards on every play.
Callum in the pistol, Klubine behind him. We've got 4 receivers to the top of the screen for London. We've got Spencer Foster alone on the backside. Outside zone handoff to Klubine. Klubine is tackled up by a group of Quinte Skyhawks in the backfield. It'll be a loss of about 4 for London. And it'll be 2nd and 14 for the Beefeaters inside the red zone, Ron.
The outside zone play coming to the right here. Here you see it. They get good pressure setting the edge, coming off of it. The Beefeaters not able to finish that block on that particular play. Again, we're just singing their praises. We're going to call it like we see it, you know, all the time. But again, nowhere for Klubine to really go on that.
DeMello Jefferson got beat around the edge there. 2nd and long, 2nd and 14 for the London Beefeaters. McCallum in the shotgun, 3 receivers top of the screen, 2 into the short side. A lot of motion for London. McCallum takes a snap. He's looking to pass. He's got receiver breaking the sideline. Look like Foster catches it, and we're going to have a touchdown for the Beefeaters. What a great throw from McCallum to find Mitchell Spence for the score on 2nd and long. A great hookup, 2nd of the drive, and McCallum is dealing tonight, Ron.
Yeah, McCallum, he feels the pressure coming from the backside there, as you see on the replay. And again, Mitchell Foster just sits down. Just a little out route, Matt. I know we talked about it ad nauseum a few weeks ago. One of my favorite route combinations. It's so hard to cover that from the inside slot position because you have to cover both inside and outside leverage. And the DB makes a choice, protects inside, beats him outside. 6 points, Beefs.
So we're 6 minutes into the game. London's kicked onside. They went for it on 3rd down, and they've scored on a 2nd and long. Quinte's had the ball for 2 offensive plays, and they down 7-0. As a coach, what are you saying to your guys right now to get them to calm down for Quinte?
It's early. It's one drive. You know, everyone relax. There's a lot of football left. Let's go back. Let's play our game. Coach Goldie's a veteran coach, knows his football, knows the X's and O's. And again, really young team for Quinte. Expansion. We talked about that earlier. But again, a really good veteran leader with coach over there. And again, what you're trying to do is just, look, everyone relax. Lots of time left. It's only 7-0. We get the ball back. Let's go down. Let's put a drive. So, and even not necessarily with points, let's get some positive plays. Let's build a little bit of momentum. And let's flip the field and make the Beefeaters play in their end zone instead of ours.
And do we see another onside kick here for London, Ron, or is that kind of like a once-a-game type situation?
Well, I think it's a once-a-game situation. And again, like I said,
what do we got, Bob?
I think what they're doing...
What number on the touchdown? What number on the convert?
I think what they're doing is they're setting something up on film for other people down the road. Again, let's be realistic. Last broadcast we did, Matt, it was the St. Clair Fratmen who had their way with the Beefeaters. They're the number 2 ranked team in the country. Beefeaters, we talked about, are the number 6. The other ranked team is Hamilton, who these Beefeaters will be at next weekend.
Deep kick from Santino, fielded by Ticehurst for Quinte. Quinte's around the edge. He's got a little bit of a return going here. He's got space. He is in the open up the right sideline. And a nice return for Ticehurst from the Quinte Skyhawks on the deep kickoff from Santino to give Quinte some good field position to start their 2nd drive of the game, Ron.
Yeah, again, I'm not a huge fan of trying to get all the way across field, but he does a good job breaking the tackle right there. He does a good little spin there, and then all of a sudden you're off to the races, and you got a return outside your 30-yard line. Ball's about the 32-yard line. Great return of about 25, 26 yards. That's a plus. That's a big plus on the scorecard for the special teams there.
Stevens in the gun for Quinte. A lot of motion. Hands off inside. Run play is stifled for the Quinte Skyhawks. London Beefeaters had a bunch of guys involved in that tackle, and we'll have a 2nd and 10 for Quinte here. 2 plays now on 1st down. Quinte's tried to run the ball up the middle with limited success.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough sell. The strength of this team is their defense, Matt. It really is. It starts with the edges. We talked about the pressure from the middle. Those linebackers are really, really active for the Beefeaters. Cody McRoberts there, cleaning things up. Yeah. Nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. 2nd and long. 2nd and about 10 and a half for the after a loss of about a half a yard on that, Matt.
3 receivers in the boundary for Quinte. Stevens back to pass. Quick pass over the middle. He's got a receiver, and it's a little bit of a short pass there. He had Robbins wide open in the seam, but just unable to get it there, and it looks like Quinte will be forced to punt again, Ron.
And on this replay, you're going to see why. McRoberts coming right off the edge there. Untouched, unblocked. You're going to see it right here, coming right at the bottom of your screen. That quarterback's got no time. He's got to get rid of that ball right away. Unfortunately, if he had a split second longer, that might have been a huge play for the Skyhawks.
Well, I thought McRoberts did a great job kind of pulling up and running past that versus making contact with quarterback, which would have most likely drawn a roughing the passer. So a great play from a veteran London Beefeater and McRoberts to pull up, understand that that ball is already thrown and there is no reason to touch the quarterback in that situation other than to draw a penalty flag. And Quinte will punt here. A little bit of a confusion on the Skyhawks sideline as their punter forgot to come out, but he's on the field now. The referee blows the play clock in, and Quinte will punt the ball down 7-0 with just over 7.5 minutes left in the first quarter here. Great punt there from the Skyhawks. Actually, a high punt. It's going to bounce, and it'll be a short one. That ball is bouncing back. That ball is live for the punter, and we're going to have it. We got a big pile of bodies there. There's flags in the play. If the ball was recovered by the Skyhawks punter with no Skyhawks in that 5-yard window, it'll be Quinte ball, but it looks like we have some players in that 5-yard halo.
Yeah, we got a couple flags down here, Matt. Again, really good high punt. Didn't know that there was that much of a breeze out there. There's a little bit of a breeze happening. That ball just takes a bad bounce, rolls back into the Quinte Skyhawks territory. I believe they recovered, but I think it's going to be a moot point. I think that they're inside the 5-yard bubble for one, and there is something behind the play as well. So I believe it's going to be Beefeater ball here.
Yeah, unfortunately, if your punter does recover that ball on the punt, but there's another player within that 5-yard halo, the recovery is negated and the ball goes back to the receiving team because of the 5-yard halo violation. Unnecessary roughness penalty on the play as well. So it looks like we had some multiple flags in the play here for against Lennon and Quinte. We'll let the referees figure it out and make the announcement.
20 yards from there.
Well, I'll tell you, Ron, my second game doing play-by-play, we're obviously missing Johnny Urban and his smooth, silky sounds, but I feel like I'm a lot more confident this week, kind of knowing what I came into, Ron.
Yeah, it's everybody thinks, all you're doing is talking about football. It's all on the fly. You got to think quick, and this gig is a little bit harder than everybody thinks it is. And we really appreciate the opportunity. Thank you very much for joining us here on Beefeater TV. Really excited here. Coach Matt Snyder, myself, Ron Fawerda. Really great evening for football. Matt, any time of year you can say these words, it's not snowing, it's a good thing.
I agree. Huge penalties against Quinte puts London in great field position. They will start the drive inside the 20 for Quinte. So 1st and 10 from the Quinte, looks to be the 21 or 19. London is knocking on the door. McCallum in the shotgun, flanked by Dyer. Dyer's first appearance of the game. Motion. McCallum on the QB draw. He's looking to pass. He's stripped. The ball is loose. Quinte recovers. Great strip sack there from the Skyhawks. And the London opportunity goes for naught as Quinte recovers there, Ron. What a great play from the defensive lineman for the Skyhawks.
This is a fantastic job. Coming upfield, understanding the pressure, and staying with it. He was the unblocked man. That's the guy that they're trying to option on that zone read here. You can see him right off the edge, unblocked. Here he comes, unblocked. So the back's got him. And at that point, you think, okay, well, McCallum's got place to step. Stays with the play. Great job. Great tomahawk of the ball. Strip sack. Hey, Quince, good job.
Ball is up in the air and another. Oh, knocked down. Quinte went fast out of the huddle. Had a completion. Knocked up in the air, and London drops the interception. What would have been another turnover for the Beefeaters. 2nd and 10 for Quinte here. This game has been a lot of back and forth early. And early in the game, we thought this was a game London was going to take over quickly, but it looks like Quinte's starting to settle down here, coming out throwing the ball on 1st down here.
Yeah, Tony G on that last one had the ball in his hands and unfortunately unable to squeeze it. 2nd down here.
Stevens back to pass. He's got the ball in the air. Got a receiver at the scene. Intercepted there by London. And Devin Smith with the interception. The 2nd downfield interception thrown by Stevens for the Skyhawks. And London will start yet another drive inside Quinte territory. Great interception there from Devin Stevens, Ron.
Does a great job of high pointing the ball. He's the receiver basically at this. Young players, if you're DB and you're watching this is how you play that. Stay with the man, keep him in attack, keep him in track with you, and at the last second, high point him, get the inside position, and beat him to the ball. Great job.
Sorry, Devin Smith with the interception, not Devin Stevens. London starts to drive at the 45-yard line of Quinte, up 7-0, 6 minutes, 38 seconds left in the first quarter. McCallum in the shotgun. He's got Klubine beside him, 3 receivers at the bottom of the screen, motion for London. Hands off to Klubine around the left edge. He is tackled by the defensive end, and it'll be 2nd and 12 for the London Beefeaters on that outside zone. It looked like Klubine was looking to get outside on that run.
Yeah, he should have cut it up a little bit earlier, but really, this is a great job. We talked about earlier tonight, the Beefeaters really opening up some big running holes on that one. That time there was nowhere to run, nowhere to hide for the young Bio grad. And again, just really great job by the Quinte defense. Let's give credit where credit is due. Great side to side.
Caleb Belfry with his 2nd tackle of the game tonight. McCallum in shotgun, sends the receivers in motion. He's back to pass. Multiple receivers working to the right side of the field. Another strip sack on McCallum. Almost identical. Quinte's got the recovery. They are off the races. Number 30 is around the edge. Cornelius Brown Jr. with the recovery and great return. And for the 2nd series in a row, McCallum is stripped, looking downfield for the pass. And Quinte has something cooking here. I love the play from the Skyhawks defensive lineman after being blocked to stay involved and track down the quarterback run.
It's the same player. It's the same player again. Number 19 with the strip sack on the previous drive. Here he comes up again. Same thing. Stays with it. Great hustle from a young team. Hey, coach, you got something cooking over there. Good job. Good on you guys.
Stevens back to pass for Quinte. Throws the ball underneath. It is wide of his receiver, David Ross. 2nd and 10 for Quinte here as they start the drive inside London territory for the first time all game, Ron.
Yeah, some plus territory now. Now let's get a first down. That's what you're thinking of Quinte. Let's get some yards. Let's get a first down here. Let's move the sticks. Really, again, it's not necessarily get a score yet. We're only 5.5 left in the first quarter. So really, 7-0. It's not a huge deficit at the moment. But again, you want to get some positive momentum going.
Stevens back to pass again. He is wide again, looking almost the exact same play to Ross, throwing the underneath little hitch route. And he's high on Ross, and it'll be 3rd and 10. Quinte will be forced to punt the ball. Unfortunately, unable to get a drive going, but I guess to look at the positive side, they may be able to turn the field over and get some good field position with a good punt and cover here if Quinte can punt this ball and cover downfield.
Oh, that's exactly what you're hoping for if you're Quinte. You're going to kick the ball approximately the 45-yard line right now, where the punter's going to be standing and getting the ball. So if you can get that ball and keep that ball inside the 20-25-yard line for the Beefeaters, that's a win for the Skyhawks. You flip the field. Now you make them go to long drives again.
Ron, I don't know if it's just me, but it looks like Quinte might be the tallest team in the history of football. A lot of players over 6'3", 6'4". Great punt there from Quinte. It's going to go to bounds without a recovery. So Quinte will win some field position on the punt, and they'll force London to start backed up inside the 40. But going back to the roster, we got Rafferty at 6'3", Joe Tomlinson at 6'2". They got Gonzalez at 6'2", Thomas Robbins 6'5". A lot of players over 6'5". A huge tall team for Quinte there, Ron.
And the one thing I'm noticing, and it doesn't really show up on film or on the camera very well, is these defensive backs. Every one of them are tall, lanky, and they all can run. They look very, very athletic on the back end of this defense.
So the future's bright for the Skyhawks. In the OFC, London starts to drive off here deep in their territory. This is the deepest they've started the drive so far. 3 receivers to the bottom of the screen for Callum. It looks like he's got Klubine beside him. Sends his receivers in motion. He's going to hand off to Klubine. He cuts back. Klubine is broke free. He's got a first down and more. He's over to the 50, past the 50, into the 52. Great game from Klubine on first down for the London Beefeaters, Ron.
Yeah, again, just the inside zone play. They go back to what was working for them. Let your athletic player make some moves in space, make a man or two miss, and he's off to the races. There's that chunk play that they had success with in the first play on the first drive there, the second drive, my apologies, where they scored. So again, a good gain of about 15 yards, which is what they were averaging last time.
4 receivers to the bottom of the screen for London now. McCallum in the shotgun sends his receivers in motion. He hands off again to Klubine. Klubine's up the middle. Dyer. Dyer rapes through for a gain of 7. Puts his triangle pressure over the ball to protect it, and we got a great gain on first down. 2nd and 3 for London. Dyer checks in the game for his second carry for London, Ron.
Yeah, again, same basic play. You're running that zone play to the weak side of the field, or basically to the left on there. And again, just really nice inside zone what they're doing on that. Good job blocking downfield, covering the ball up. We got a 2nd and 2 here.
2nd and 2 for London. McCallum in the shotgun, as he has been all game. 3 receivers to the bottom of the screen. He takes the handoff, takes the snap, hands off to Dyer. Dyer's up the middle. He's churning his feet for the first down. It's going to be close, but he looks like he has it. A tough run from Dyer there, and London moves the chains on the drive. The Beefeaters.
7-yard line.
Dyer with a good first down run, Ron.
Yeah, again, good job, good tough running. LJ Dyer's a very tough physical player. He's got the ability to burst it outside. He's got a great step on him, but he's much more of a physical inside presence when he's running the ball. And there was a good job. You needed 4, you needed 2 yards, you got 5. Move the sticks, set up, and let's do it again.
Same formation for McCallum, lots of motion. Hands off to Klubine, who's looking to bounce outside to the left. Klubine is upfield. He is dancing through traffic, and he's got a solid game. Now, I've seen a little bit of football in my life, Ron, so I've seen that inside zone play a bunch of times. Why would they continue to run the same play over and over again for London Beefeaters?
It's the analogy, if it's not broke, don't fix it. You want to force the defense to prove that they can stop a bread and butter play. For the Beefeaters, the bread and butter play is that zone. But the other thing you're trying to do is maybe you're thinking a play or two down the line where you're going to set them up and maybe take a shot down the field.
McCallum in the shotgun again. He's got Klubine beside him. 3 receivers, bottom of the screen. He takes a snap. Hands off to Klubine. We got a flag on the play. Looks like to be offside. And Klubine is tackled for a minimal gain on 2nd and 1. This will be close depending on how the penalty is assessed. Looks to me like an offside on the receivers for London, but it could have been a defensive lineman jump for Quinte because McCallum's hard counted him. And what do you think, Ron?
I was going to say before I just saw the indication of what the play was, I thought the defense jumped right there and he was in the neutral zone and that was it. So unfortunately, it's the free 5 yards for the Beefeaters and it's a first down.
Now, we've seen London run that inside zone play time after time. The inside zone play, though, is by nature a play that can go anywhere on the front. It's not designed to go in one specific hole. Is that correct, Ron?
Yeah, basically what you're doing is if you're running the short side of the inside zone play to the left, you're trying to follow the guard's block and cut off of him. Make the player inside, make a decision, and you're trying to option or RPO somebody off of it.
Hands off to Klubine. Klubine up the middle. He is stifled by the Quinte defense for a minimal gain. 2nd and 7 for London here as they start the drive in their own territory and have moved along thanks to a couple big runs from Klubine and Dyer.
Yeah, it's been the drive on the ground here. And again, 2nd and 7 here. Let's see if the Beefeaters can get a pass completed. Again, these DBs for the Quinte Skyhawks are quite tall, quite lengthy, and they all look like they can run.
McCallum sends receivers in motion. 4 receivers at the bottom of the screen, back to pass. He looks like he had the swing, but he's looking to scramble. McCallum up the field. Not going to be enough for the first down. He had Spence on the bubble, and he couldn't find him. And it'll be a 3rd and long for London. A decision here for Coach Lake. Ron, what do you think?
Well, I think that the bubble was going to be covered on that as we're looking over to the bench. It looks like they're going to go for it here early in this game with 41 seconds left to go in the first quarter, Matt. Second time they're going to go for it on 3rd down by the looks of it.
3rd and 7 for London here, leading 7-0 as the first quarter clock ticks to zeros. McCallum in the shotgun. He's got Klubine beside him. He's got 3 receivers to the bottom of the screen. A lot of motion. Klubine drops back to pass. He got Klubine to the flats. He's looking for him. He's looking downfield. He's got a receiver over the middle. Looks like Foster.
The pass is complete.
Connor DiPodesta, and that'll be a first down for London on that mesh route. McCallum did a great job hanging in there, finding DiPodesta on the crossing route for the first down run.
Yeah, that's exactly it. He feels the pressure. Again, great protection from the inside offensive line, against the defensive line. Simple under route, so you've got a crosshair coming underneath late, and that's tough for the linebackers and the safety to stay with them that long. And again, I think that they're playing a lot of man there because they brought extra pressure.
3rd time this game, it looks like London's caught Quinte in man and run that mesh concept. Callum sends receiver in motion, hands off to Dyer. Dyer's up the middle. He's got a gain. Dyer has a touchdown, and London jumps ahead 13-0 on the long touchdown run from Dyer on that inside zone play yet again, Ron.
So you see the safety screaming downhill. Unfortunately, he was there, not quite able to make that. Then all of a sudden, there's nobody left at the second level. LJ Dyer with a great touchdown. 13-0 for the Beefs, and that was the last play of the first quarter.
It's frustrating for defensive coordinators when they call a blitz right into the gap, and the player is there and unable to make the tackle, isn't it, Ron?
Yeah, it really is. And again, like, kudos to the young man. He made the right read. He had it timed perfectly. He just couldn't quite finish it off there. That's unfortunately, as we're going to see the Beefeaters going for 2 here.
Beefeaters for 2 here. McCallum in shotgun with Dyer beside him. McCallum takes the snap. He's back to pass. And he's got an incompletion there. He had McKenzie open on the little inside slant route, but McKenzie unable to haul it down, and London will turn away the points. They will lead 13-0 as the second quarter starts. So far, Ron, we've seen the London Beefeaters with some great field position to start drives, and they've lived on some chunk plays. McCallum's played a pretty strong first quarter. Quinte offensively struggling to complete the ball on second and long, but still a lot of game left, Ron. What do you think?
Again, we kind of talked about it. It's 13-0. Okay, fine. We're down, with the end of the first quarter, beginning of the second. And it's got to be tough for a young team going on a road to really one of the top 10 teams, like traditionally in Canada, with the Beefeaters on Alumni Day. I'm just curious at the call why to go for 2 there rather than taking the extra point. But, Coach Gavin Lake, he's trying to put some stuff on film, I believe. Great job again by the Beefeaters offensive line, opening up and giving McCallum time to pass, time to step up in that pocket. That guard tackle, that guard center guard combination that they've got going on is playing a heck of a game right so far.
Yeah, London Beefeaters dig into their analytics booth and get the 2-point conversion percentage. It says go for 2 in this situation. So, Coach Gavin Lake subscribes to his analytics right there. Centino kicks it deep. Quinte's going to field it on the bounce. Couple of bounces for Skyhawks. They struggle to recover. This is going to pin them deep. We got good coverage for the Beefeaters, and Quinte's going to start this drive backed up inside their own 5. Tough play there. Looks like they had something on the start, but the player was unable to field it on the bounce. And as we talked about last game, Ron, when the ball bounces on a kickoff return, bad things usually happen.
When it hits the ground, it's going to cost you 15 yards somewhere along the way. If you catch it in the air, that's a huge difference. And you look at where that ball hit. The ball hit about the 15, 17-yard line. Now they're starting inside their 5 at about the 4-yard line, Matt. And that's, boy, for an offense that really hasn't shown much pop yet, this is a tough situation.
Yeah, Quinte is operating, obviously, as a new team with some players that haven't played at this level before. So far, they've won, 2 games. Looking for their 3rd here in London as they start to drive deep inside their own territory. First down for Quinte inside the 4. They got 3 receivers to the bottom of the screen. Stevens drops back to pass. He's looking to throw. He's got a receiver up the sidelines wide open. Flag on the play, but they're completed. Quinte's got a first chunk of the game as he finds Kyle Baronit on the completion. Flags on the play. We'll see how it goes, but a huge game for Quinte, and that gives them a ton of breathing room that they desperately needed, Ron.
Yeah, just a fade route. Simple fade route by the outside receiver. Beats his man outside. Cordodob does a great job of delivering the ball downfield, and the penalty is going to be against the Beefeaters.
Tough for London. They had troubles last week against St. Clair as well when they play that cut coverage with the low corner. They have a tough time when the widest receiver goes vertical. It's definitely something that's plagued them over the year. We'll see if coaches can kind of make that adjustment at halftime, but regardless, a huge game for Quinte here as they start moving the ball. I think that's their first down of the game on offense.
Yeah, I believe so as well.
Stevens in the shotgun. He's got the running back beside him. 3 receivers to the top of the screen into the boundary. Stevens takes the snap. He's looking to pass. Quick throw to the left flats. One-handed. Baronit unable to catch the ball. And Quinte will be at a 2nd and long here. 2nd and 10 as Stevens a little high in his passes so far today. Is that something? Does that have to do with the weather, or is that?
That could be the weather. The ball is a little bit slick. Could be how you're seeing the field right now. We're kind of that dusk period where the sun's behind the clouds. It's a little bit darker. But he has been a little bit high. I think that's got more to do with the weather and the chill in the air.
3 receivers top of the screen. Quinte back to pass. Stevens looking early. He had his receiver there, Gilbert Thibault. But unable to come down with it, and it'll be another 2nd down, a 3rd down and long for Quinte, and they send the punt team out. Coach Goldie had to be happy with the big completion to get the chains moved for Quinte, but unable to keep a drive going. They're forced to punt again, and offensively, I think at this point it's safe to say they're having some struggles to start the game, Ron.
They're gonna have, again, it's a young team. They're brand new into the environment, brand new in the league. It's great to see them here, of course. With that comes growing pains. It takes a while to build a program. But again, their defense is playing really, really hard.
Rafferty catches the punt, snap on the bounce, booms one down. London recovers it, but he's down by contact. And the Beefeaters will start the drive just shy of their 50 on the 45. There's flags on the play, and it looks like we'll have something. Indications are Quinte to start, but we'll see what the referees announce.
Yeah, I think we're going to have no yards here as you see the Beefeater returner running up to try to get that ball. I think it was number 24 for the Skyhawks, got caught inside that 5-yard window. So this is going to move up, I believe, 5 yards here, Matt, and it's going to be a first down for the Beefeaters.
Thomas Robinson for Quinte gets in that 5-yard halo, and that'll move the chains up. Now, what's the difference between a 5-yard and a 15-yard penalty on the no yards run?
The 5-yard penalty is you're trying to back out of that, so it happens type of thing. Like you're making an effort. When it's a 15-yarder penalty, you're not making an effort to get out of that 5-yard bubble. You're in that, and I think he kind of got trapped in there. To be honest with you, I don't think it was more intentional. I think he just flat out got trapped.
Yeah, I believe the 5-yard also applies when the ball hits the ground. London motions receivers. Quick throw from McCallum to the receiver on the screen. He's up. Huge chunk for the play. Looks like Spencer Foster with the completion. And London's got a first down, driving here over half into Quinte territory. McCallum to Foster on the quick screen. Great drive starter for London there. Coach Lake goes back to that screen that we saw earlier in the game. McCallum's got the Beefeaters moving as the second quarter clock ticks on.
Yeah, simple step-off wide receiver screen there on that. Does a good job. Great job with the receivers making blocks downfield. As a receiver coach, that's something I always stress to my players. You're going to catch the ball, you better block because you're not going to get the ball every play, and you're going to have to block most plays.
Callum back to pass again. He's looking quickly on the fade route. Unable to come up with the ball is Mitchell Spence for the Beefeaters. It'll be second down and long. 2nd and 10 for London on the 35-yard line of Quinte. Ron, we see McCallum taking some shots downfield so far this game. Is that something that you kind of look on film and say, hey, we see an opportunity here?
That's something that you believe that they've taken shots downfield all year. That's something that they believe that they have an advantage on at some point. And the Beefeaters are not afraid to take that shot, which is great to see. Again, just not quite on that completion. Again, McCallum's just having himself a great day so far, though.
Callum back to pass, Dyer out, dumps it off to Dyer in the flats. Dyer makes the first guy miss. He's tackled by a group of Skyhawks. He'll be short of the first down. Be third down and about 6 on the 30-yard line. Another situation where Coach Lake has options. Do you think they go for it, or is this a situation where you send the field goal team out, try to score some more points, Ron?
No, I think they're going to leave the offense out. That's kind of the indication that I'm getting. I don't know if there's something going on with the kicker maybe. Yeah, that could be something for us to consider, because for them not to kick the extra point and go for the 2 and not to try to kick the field goals earlier, maybe there's something going on with your kicker. Maybe you don't have it, so you just got to go.
3rd and 7 here for London. McCallum sends his receivers in motion. He's back to pass. He's got Foster, and it's intercepted for Quinte down the sidelines. Great interception. He breaks free. He's got McCallum free. The referees are going to call him out of bounds. But Quinte comes up with the interception there. Jacoby Dillon. Jacoby, I'm going to try that again. Jacoby Dillon with the interception there for Quinte. Looks like McCallum just stared his receiver down a little bit. And Quinte will take over with another turnover. Their 3rd takeaway of the game. Looking to get the offense moving, Ron. What'd you see on that interception?
He just flat out jumped the route. He knew it was coming. They had an indication on something, either on film, because you can see him right away. Second the receiver put his foot in the ground, he was coming. He was coming downhill, and he was taking that ball away, or it was going to be a touchdown the other way. It was one way or another. I like that they're taking gambles in something, and then an unnecessary roughness penalty against the Beefeaters. Move it up 15.
Stevens back to pass. He's high and a miss. 2nd and long for Quinte here. If I'm London offensive coordinator, Coach Blake, I'm definitely putting a pin in that little hitch play and coming back with some kind of a double move, seeing how aggressive that defensive back was. Back on the field now, we got Quinte, 2nd and 10, just shy of center field. They missed on first down on the Stevens pass over the middle. Facing 2nd and 10 here against the Beefeaters, trailing 13-0. Quinte looking to get a drive going. Stevenson in the shotgun. He's got his running back flank beside him. He's got 3 receivers to the top of the screen, 2 to the bottom. Stevens takes a snap. He's back to pass. He's got pressure on, completion, but going to be short of the first down. We'll see where the spot is, but it looks like Quinte is going to be shy of the first down by about 5 yards, and it'll be 3rd and 5 for Quinte here. Is it still too early in the game to go for it based on field position and distance, Ron?
No, at this point, why not? Like you're down 13.
3rd and 5.
You're under 11 minutes to go in the second quarter. So you're on the road. Let's get some momentum. We just made a couple really big plays defensively. Let's put a drive together here. I like the call by Coach Goldie to go for it.
A couple riverboat gamblers on the sidelines for Quinte and London as they start to go for it early in the second quarter. Quinte here will 3rd and 5, going for it deep inside their own territory. Stevens takes a snap. He's back to pass. He's out to the flats early, catches it over the 45 to the 47, and I think he's going to be just short of the first down. We'll see where the spot is, but to me, just short, and London will take over inside Quinte's territory. I think based on the camera work there, we're definitely going to have a turnover on downs for Quinte.
Cameraman Alex Stoddard, great job right down the line there. You can see them. They needed to get just outside the 50, weren't quite there. Unfortunately, turnover and downs. Here's something else to think about, Matt. We saw them jump that route earlier on the interception. We also have seen the safety coming really, really late or early on the blitz. So these guys are playing really aggressive on the back end. So maybe it's something that you think that you guys have an advantage. Again, we talked about how athletic these kids look.
Callum takes a snap. He hands off to Klubine. Klubine's up the middle, breaks free to the right. Klubine's got space, a lot of space. He breaks the second tackle. Klubine spins out of bounds. There's a flag late on the play, but a great game from Klubine. London looking to start churning the ball on the ground. It looks like they're starting to wear down Quinte a little bit. Quinte's not getting off the ball as hard as they were the first game, and Klubine's got a big chunk. We'll see what the penalty is, Ron, but is London's offensive line starting to take over at this point?
Yeah, they kind of are. We saw that a little bit earlier. I think it's going to be a hold against London after yards gained, just an FYI on the penalty. Unnecessary roughness. Face mask. My apologies. I thought there was a little bit of a hold on the at the top end of that run. I was mistaken on that. So, yeah, the Beefeaters line was starting to lean on them a little bit. It's a long, let's be realistic, that's a long trip from Belleville to London on a Saturday in October. The legs are going to got to start coming out of them sooner or later.
Callum back in the shotgun, takes the snap. He hands off to Klubine. Klubine's up the middle looking for space. He's got a group, but he breaks the first tackle. He's brought down by multiple Skyhawks. Big gain of 6 for London there as they start to move inside the 20-yard line. Closer to the 10 of Quinte there. London looking to punch in their third major of the game. 9 minutes, 35 seconds left in the second quarter. Here in lovely London, Ontario for a beautiful Saturday evening. OFC football action. London Beefeaters, Quinte Skyhawks. If you're watching live on YouTube, thank you. If you're hearing my voice, you're definitely missing the smooth sounds of Johnny Urban, who we miss so dearly. I'm here with Ron Ferwerda. McCallum takes the snap. He's looking to pass. He's got a receiver in the flats. Trips up. Unable to complete it. It'll be second down.
Or was that second down?
Third down. And a decision to be made for Coach Gavin Lake. Take the 3 or go for it on 3rd and 5 deep in Quinte territory, Ron.
I think this is going to talk to us all about whether they've got a kicker or they feel they don't, because the offense is staying on the field again. So they obviously don't think that they can kick the field goal in this situation in this game right now.
Yeah, definitely an aggressive decision-making mentality so far for Coach Lake and the Beefeaters coaching staff.
Here's something to consider, okay? The punter and the place kicker for the Beefeaters is the same player, number 81. Remember, he had that scramble on that type of kick. As we see the pass into the end zone, incomplete.
Great point there, Ron. Incomplete, and Quinte will take over. London goes for it on 3rd down, unable to kick the field goal for some reason that we're not sure of. Possibly an injury, possibly aggressive decision-making from the coaching staff, but regardless, Quinte takes over, down 13-0 with 8:28 left in the second quarter, and Quinte so far offensively, some struggles, but looking to get a drive going. And we'll see if they come on and continue to throw the ball on first down, as has been their MO the last couple drives. We got Carter Stevens at quarterback. The 6-foot, 195-pound quarterback for Quinte leads the charge as Quinte breaks the huddle. We have 2 receivers to the bottom of the screen for Stevens. He's in the shotgun, flanked by his running back. fullback, 3 receivers at the top of the screen, back to pass. He's got completion early, and it'll be tackled for a minimal gain. He had Brendan Robbins on the completion, but unable to get anything after the catch, Ron. Quinte, offensively, if you're the coach for the Skyhawks, kind of what are you thinking as the drives continue and you're not able to get first downs?
You know, I like the call on first down. Let's get an easy completion, high percentage. Let's get 5 yards. Let's get out of our end zone, so to speak, and let's try to get some positive momentum happening here. Don't be surprised if they don't come back with some type of run play here to try to slow down that pass rush from the Beefeaters.
2nd and 6 here for Quinte. As Stevens in the shotgun, he's got 3 receivers to the top of the screen, 1 running back in the backfield. He singles out, takes a snap, he's back to pass, throwing the post over the middle, complete. Oh, intercepted! He had it, and then Cody McRoberts is Johnny on the spot, and to catch it on the bounce, we got a lot of flags after the play as London and Quinte start to have conflict at center field. Unfortunate that there's going to be penalties on this, because that's a great play from McRoberts there. Ron, what'd you think about the coverage there from Cody McRoberts deep downfield for London?
Well, you know, the receiver had a chance at that ball. They had a great high-low coverage on him. And again, he's just not unable to squeeze it a little bit high on the pass here. But again, really good pass. Unfortunately, he's unlucky, not able to squeeze it. Bounces off of him. Bounces off the front DB, and then Raymond McRoberts, who was the trailer. So, you know, that's unfortunate for Quince, but a great Johnny-on-the-spot play and great hand-eye coordination. Kids, that's a lot harder than it looks like to catching that ball when you're moving forward, and it's coming back to you all of a sudden on a different angle and something. This is
15-yard penalty on the Skyhawks for unnecessary roughness. It looks like a little bit of extracurriculars after the play. Definitely frustration mounting for the Skyhawks as they throw another interception. London will start the drive deep in their territory, just past the 40, closer to the 35 for Quinte. As has been the theme most of the game, London starting drives deep in Quinte territory. McCallum at quarterback, Klubine in the shotgun beside him. 3 receivers to the bottom of the screen for London. McCallum sends his receivers in motion, takes a snap, hands off to Klubine. Klubine up the middle, he breaks free. He has got a big chunk of gain. And that's going to be a great run for Quinte. It looks like the London offensive line and the run game for the Beefeaters is starting to slowly take over this game, Ron.
Yeah, you know, great job. I think it's number 60 there, the big kick out, 55, excuse me, does a great job of walling off. You can see him. And the back just cuts right off of that block. Great zone blocking there, guys. For a great zone block, you know, everyone thinks that you got to push the guy to the sidelines. You got to get in his way, and you got to present your backside to the running back to give him somewhere to cut off of. That time, the Beefeaters did a great job of that.
McCallum hands off to Dyer, who's got the first down and more. Dyer met with contact, and the hole definitely won that one-on-one contest in there. And Dyer with a tough run to get the chains moving for the Beefeaters. As first down, London. McCallum handed off there, and Dyer did the rest of the work.
Big contact at the point there. Dyer's going forward. That's something that we saw a lot in the London area. LJ Dyer is kind of the guy that always goes forward on contact.
LJ Dyer definitely had a great high school football coach there who taught him some of the key skills and drills necessary to be a tough runner inside. And I don't know who that guy is, but whoever it was,
Coach Stenning.
Kudos to you for working with him. Coach Stenning wishes. McCallum in the shotgun, takes the snap, hands off to Klubine. Klubine up the middle. London continuing to run the ball with ease. Klubine is dancing. He secures the ball as he's tackled. Short gain for London there, but the drive continues. The Beefeaters are definitely leaning on their offensive line and their plethora of running backs. Even without Tazzy Van Bell, London has continued to pound the football on the ground. And it'll be second and about 8. We'll call it 8 for the London Beefeaters as there's an injured Beefeater on the play, Ron. What do you think about the run game so far for London?
It's been really the story of the game. We knew that the Beefeaters wanted to take some type of ground attack forward going into Hamilton next week, put some stuff on film. This has been a really, really great job without the start of the year. Your top 2 running backs, really, from the start of the year, you're at your 3rd and 4th guy, and there's not much of a drop down. Let's be realistic. These guys are running hard. They're running with speed. They're running with power. They're running through contact. And again, this is what you want to do in colder weather football. Is you want to run the ball and make the defense make tackles, contact. It gets harder and harder as the game goes on.
Absolutely. Tazzy Van Bell out. Klubine and LJ Dyer, who had a very handsome high school football coach, have continued to carry the rock. McCallum back to pass. He's got a receiver over the middle open. He's drop pass on a touchdown that would have been for London Beefeaters. There's a flag on the play. Looks like holding on Beefeaters or offside. Regardless, it'll be a penalty be applied there. Second down. We'll see where the flag moves the ball back. McCallum had his receiver he wanted open, just unable to squeeze it there, and the London Beefeaters will face, looks to be a third down as we wait. Holding penalty on London. It's declined, and it'll be third down. London here, 3rd and 7. London has to decide, kick the field goal or go for it. As we've seen so far, London's been aggressive, possibly an issue with their kicker, but they will leave the offense. Oh, we see some substitutions now. This could be the field goal team, or definitely see. Now we see the kicking team come out. They'll take the points here. So looks to me like their MO so far has just been, we want to be aggressive in our decision making. They're going to kick the field goal here, facing a 3rd and 7. Backed up just shy of the 15-yard line for London. Coach Lake elects to kick the field goal here. We have Stackhouse out. There's the pin. Stackhouse kick is away, and it's through the uprights for 3 points. It'll be 16-0 for the London Beefeaters with 4 minutes and 46 seconds left in the second quarter here in lovely London, Ontario on a beautiful October evening, as we have a great OFC football game between the Beefeaters and first-year Quinte Skyhawks in their, I really like them, the black with the fluorescent yellow. Almost, we talked it before the game, Ron, almost Oregon-ish.
Kind of a cross between the Iowa Hawkeyes and the Oregon Ducks there.
Yeah, it's like if Iowa Hawkeyes and Oregon Ducks had a baby. This would be the uniforms, which I like them. I think they're pretty flashy. I got a soft spot for black jerseys. I think they make you look tough, and for me, make you look slim, so I like to... Anytime we can get black coaching gear, I'm a fan of it. Regardless, we got the ball spotted. Quinte's in the shotgun. Stevens drops back to pass. He's looking to throw early. He misses high again. Stevens has been a slinger so far, but he's been missing high a little bit. We talked about that early in the game. The weather definitely playing a factor. It's just a little bit cold out here. A little bit of humidity in the air. That ball seems like it's kind of sliding off his hand, Ron. What do you think?
Yeah, the Beefeaters have been there. As there's a flag down there, unnecessary roughness against the Beefeaters. Maybe a late hit. I kind of missed what the call was.
5-yard unnecessary roughness.
I'll tell you, at some point, if you want to be a champion at any level, regardless of its OFC, CFL, high school, LMFA, tyke, touch, you got to stop taking the 15-yard penalties after the play. It's been a theme throughout the season for London that they've taken a lot of 15-yarders, and I don't think anybody's really surprised when we say that, but 4 receivers to the bottom of the screen here for Quinte. Stevens takes a snap. He's hands off on the draw to the running back, who is stifled by almost the entire defensive line for London. And the London defensive line just forces their way through and says, no, thank you, sir, to the Quinte running back. 2nd and 14 here for London, or for Quinte, as they continue to look for some offensive continuity. They've had some struggles on offense. Stevens has missed high a lot this game so far. Definitely the weather's playing a factor in it. I think you might not look on film, but it's definitely a little bit humid out here. Just a little bit of humidity sticking on the ball, in our opinion, and we've all been there where, maybe it's just me, I've been there where we're missing a lot of throws. Quinte drops back to pass. Stevens again, quick to throw it, intercepted. Is it just me, or is Stevens really kind of rushing his throws a touch?
He doesn't have time, to be honest with you. When we go back to the replay here, look at the two's coming unblocked off the edge. He does not have time to set his feet. He catches the ball, he recognizes there's pressure, and he's trying to get this ball out. This is a good time of timing up the blitz. We talked about that. Also a good job of not hitting the quarterback, running by there by the Beefeater
Cody McRoberts. And it looks like Quinte has had a tough time really kind of picking up that 2 off the edge pressure that London has gone to. Almost in every key 2nd and long situation, they brought that 2 off the edge pressure. It's the 3rd or 4th time we said McRoberts' name on the rush. Quinte will punt the ball away. Oh, actually, it's a turnover because of an interception, and London will take over. My mistake. I was daydreaming there. 1st down and 10 for London on the 50-yard line going in. McRoberts McCallum in the shotgun. He's got Klubine beside him, sends receivers in motion. Hands off to Klubine. Klubine's up the middle with a ton of space. He is out to the left, and he is running over the center field past the 50 to the 45. Klubine forced out of bounds at the 45. Huge chunk of gain for Jeff Klubine out of HB Beal, the Raider. And London Beefeaters have a drive going. First down over the center field, but there's another flag on the play. Is there a discount on flags for sale in London somewhere? Because we've seen a ton of them on the field so far, Ron.
Well, unfortunately, I think he had movement on that one. I'm surprised they didn't call it right away.
Holding penalty against the Beefeaters, and it'll be first and long, first and 20-yard line.
50 tickets are available.
As we hit the 3-minute warning.
3-minute warning there for the referee crew. And that changes the timing. If you're wondering what that means, it changes how the clock is timed and when the play is whistled in. But regardless, the clock ticks down under 3 minutes here with London leading 16-0. McCallum in the shotgun. He's got Klubine beside him. Sends the receivers in motion. Hands off to Klubine. Klubine's up the middle looking for space. Klubine breaks free, and he's got all the yardage back on the penalty and more. Klubine is going to be close to the first down if he doesn't have it already. Looks like he'll just be a yard and a half short, but what another chunk for Jeffrey Klubine, who is running wild tonight in place of Tazzy Vang Bell, and the London Beefeaters have not lost a step with Vang Bell out of the game. Klubine is a really tough runner, and he is finding success on the ground as the London Beefeaters continue to churn the yards up. The offensive line has been the story of the game so far, Ron.
Yeah, really, it has been the offensive line. That guard-center-guard combination for the Beefeaters are absolutely dominating this Quince for the offense, is dominating the Quince defense.
Another running back checks in the game for us. McCallum bobbles a snap. Dante McPhail in at running back for the London Beefeaters there.
McCallum.
He's the Saunders graduate.
Fields the snap.
McCallum unable to field that snap cleanly, and he just gets back what he can, but that'll be a third down and 7 for the London Beefeaters here, just shy of the center field yard marker here, and London will send out their punt team as Coach Lake decides to kick the ball away and play defense. Centino back to punt for London here. Coach Scarpelli, the special teams coordinator, has his punt unit lined up in that college-style shield punt that has become so popular over the last 10 or so years. Centino stands just past the 40 on his 36. He's got the snap, got pressure. He is running. We'll see if he has a chance to get it away. He is not going to get the first down. Oh, and he made it! Centino corrects me on the fly.
No. You're going to say he stepped in. You're going to say he's just
very close spot. We got an instant
I don't like this call.
We got an instant replay here. We'll see how close this was, but it looks like based on the spot, they're not going to award that. Oh, he could have been out of bounds. I'll tell you what, I'm going to give those referees credit because my old eyes would not have seen that play, but that's a great call from the referees there with a great spot, and that's why they're the best in the Ontario. London referees are the best in Ontario, and they just prove it there. First down, close play, tough play for Centino. He almost had it. Obviously, the snaps and the pass rush have been a problem, or the punt rush have been a little bit of a problem for London here so far this game, but regardless, Quinte will take over. Quinte will take over just past their 50 on their, we'll call it the 51-yard line. First and 10 with 2 minutes left, down by 16. Stevens in the shotgun. He sends receivers in motion, drops back to pass. He's looking to throw over the middle early. And another, near interception from Devin Smith. He drops it. It'll be 2nd and 10 there as Devin Smith, who's playing defense for what I think is, I haven't seen him this year, but first time this year he's played a significant amount of snaps on defense for the Beefeaters. Just barely drops that interception. London Beefeaters defense has been strong, and Quinte will face a 2nd and long for another time this game.
Yeah, Kadri on the coverage there. Does a good job. He almost has that ball intercepted there right at the top of the route. This is being fantastic pressure by the Beefeaters. Now look for them to bring that outside edge pressure. Here they come.
Here comes McRoberts on the blitz. He backs out. Stevens back to pass. Quick completion over the middle, short of the first down. It'll be a gain of 6 for Quinte there. It'll be 3rd and 4. Just over center field on the 53-yard line for the London Beefeaters. 3rd down by 16. Minute 50 left in the game, Ron. Situation where you go for it?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, says Ron Forwarda. We got an injured player on the field, and it is Quinte's quarterback, Carter Stevens, who is down in some pain. Hopefully he's okay. Regardless, Ron, we're going to see another quarterback on the next play if Quinte does decide to go for it because he will have to come out of the game.
I think that changes your decision here really, really quickly. I think you have to turn around and punt the ball now if you're the Skyhawks. You know, that's if you just lose your starting quarterback, you know, he's got to sit out 3 plays. Unless you've got something dialed up, ready to go, I think you punt this ball away and kind of reevaluate in a minute and a half.
Well, I will remind you, you said absolutely go for it on third down, so don't be the guy that changes his mind now, right? We've already gambled. Put our money on the table. Let's go. But they'll send out the punt team here, it looks like. And Quinte will punt the ball away. Unfortunate injury for Carter Stevens on the play. Likely changed the decision-making. We got a timeout on the field, it looks like. And possibly Coach Goldie's taking a gauge here, taking a vote to see how the Skyhawks want to go for it on this 3rd and 4. Just over center field here in London. A minute 50 left in the half as London leads 16-0. And what's been a pretty entertaining, pretty good game. A lot of turnovers to start this game. London started to settle down and run the ball. They're trying to come up with some big chunks. Quinte's offense has struggled a little bit. Looks like their punt team's on the field now, and they'll kick this one away, likely trying to get out of the half and regroup at halftime, come out in the second half with a couple adjustments, see if they can get the offense moving. But they've had their spark, just unable offensively to kind of come up with some consistency. The Beefeaters defense has been very strong here as the punter is back in a very similar shield setup to London. 3rd and 4. There's a snap. There's a fake. Quinte is throwing the ball downfield, and it's going to be intercepted. I don't know about the decision to pick that ball off because you lose about 20 yards of field position, but regardless, London will take over, Ron. What do you think about that? I know it's easy for us to say because we're sitting here. I'm not running around. It's easy for me to say, oh, knock that ball down, but when you're on the field, there's just you see a football in the air, the urge is to catch it. But what do you think, Ron?
You're told to catch it. You're told to catch it. You're told to catch it. Catch the ball in the air on a punt. Catch the ball in the air as a receiver. Go for the ball. You absolutely have to do that. I know bad things can happen, different penalties and stuff like that. As we do see it going back 10 yards, unfortunately, after the return. But no, it's so hard to tell your kid, just knock that down. Again, no situation's one thing, but that's hard to do. These are still young men, like 18 to 24 years old.
McCallum takes the snap, hands off to Klubine, who's up the middle. Klubine's got a lot of space, but he's tackled for a gain of a 5-yard line. Looks like he had a kind of a sliver of light to burst through there, but just caught in the last second, and Quinte makes the play. 2nd and 5 for London here. Minute 38 is the clock. Clock ticks down. 16-0 lead for the London Beefeaters here at as halftime approaches in London. Beautiful October evening. And the London Beefeaters and Quinte Skyhawks in some OFC football action live from Citywide Field in London, Ontario. I'm Matt Snyder. With me is the Professor Ron Fawerda. McCallum calls the signals, takes a snap. He hands off to Dyer. Dyer patiently waits for the hole and then bursts through. Dyer's going to have a very close to a first down.
Dyer,
depending on the spot, it might be a 3rd and inches. And that's what it'll be, 3rd and inches as the referee sets the box. 3rd and about a yard. We'll call it, I would say, 0.8 of a yard.
So on they're going hurry up,
4/5.
So
McCallum under center, takes a snap. Looks like the play was whistled dead because of a timeout for Quinte. And McCallum was going for the sneak there, but unfortunately the quick timeout call from Quinte stops that play before it starts, and London will have a 3rd and yard to go when the timeout comes out. 16-0, minute 07 left in the game.
So,
here in London, Ron. Beautiful evening. Football's in the air. We're deep into the middle of football season. 3 months ago, a lot of questions. Would we even have a football season in London? And now we've got high schools well into it. London Beefeaters are playing their 7th game. Western won today. They're getting ready for a big playoff stretch. LMFA's deep in. We've seen a bunch of stuff on the Instagram where LMFA season looks like it's had a great success. A lot of kids playing at that level. Definitely a football town in London, Ron. I know you're excited. I know you're a big football fan. You love local football. Have you seen a lot of football this year? What are you thinking?
It's, I haven't seen as much football as I'd like to be honest with you, with the high schools running, all games have to be played during school hours, so it's tough for, people who have jobs that they can get out there. But I try to watch as much as I can.
Fake punt here for Dyer. Dyer's going to have that and more. First down push from Dyer. We've seen back-to-back fake punts from London and Quinte.
Dyer on the direct
The Beefeaters are going deep into their special teams bag of tricks here. Coach Scarpelli really getting his money's worth with the trick calls. A fake punt, direct snap to Dyer, and London will keep the drive alive with a minute 2 left in the half, up 16-0. First down just over the 50-yard line of Quinte. London Beefeaters are pulling out all stops. I think you're right, Ron. Definitely getting as much stuff on film as possible for the inevitable playoff push that'll likely see them take on Hamilton in the first round and hopefully putting them on a collision course for that third and final rematch against the St. Clair Fratmen, who seem to be the kind of the cream of the crop in the OFC this year. McCallum in the shotgun, 3 receivers to the bottom of the screen on first down for London. Motion brings the 4th receiver over. He throws the swing pass to Mitchell Spence. Spence has got room. He's down with a moderate gain. We'll call it 6 to 7 yards, and it'll be second down and 4 for the London Beefeaters as they continue to move the ball downfield, looking to get one more score before half run.
You know, that was a play that we saw earlier that we didn't see McCallum take the swing on that rocket motion, so here he comes again. So let's see if they come back to something like that again.
No huddle offense for the Beefeaters. McCallum's back to pass. He's got lots of time looking all over the field. He throws it out, caught for the first down to Foster, out of bounds. Great throw there from McCallum, and the clock stops with the out of bounds catch. I really like the patience there McCallum shows as they get into the no huddle offense with the clock running. Definitely, we talked about this earlier in the game, the veteran leadership for McCallum has definitely been something that's been noticeable in my opinion on the field. He seems a lot more calmer in the pocket, kind of going through his progressions than he did at the start of the year. So he's getting more comfortable. Obviously, the rust of not having a 2020 season was something that had to be kind of brushed away for a lot of the players. Regardless, McCallum moves the receiver across the formation in motion, takes a snap. He's back to pass. Lots of time. McCallum throws downfield. He's got the crossing route. Looks like a completion. And it'll be another first down. Connor DePodesta comes up with that crossing route again. 4th or 5th time we've seen that mesh concept from London.
Just a great job sitting down. McCallum does a good job delivering that pass into an open area, allowing his receiver to run into that catch.
McCallum in the no huddle, drops back to pass again. He's got lots of time. He's got a receiver over the middle. Intercepted by Quinte there. Underthrown pass. Quinte's going to work the return, and they'll rightfully take the knee in the end zone, which will give them field position here. 6 seconds left. We got an issue with the clock on screen, but there's 6 seconds left in the half as London leads 16-0.
As there's laundry on the field again, Matt.
Another flag on the play. I would expect to see Quinte take a knee to get out of the halftime as we count down the seconds until halftime. So again, Ron, London football is obviously kind of right deep in the middle of things. Western won today against Waterloo pretty convincingly. I heard 43-16 was the final score, so that's a big win for the Mustangs as they get ready for the playoffs. Moves them to 4-1 on the season as they get ready to take on Windsor in a rematch of last week's performance down in Windsor next Saturday. London gets ready with one more game to go. I think they're on the road next week, if I'm correct.
I believe so, yes.
So this will be their last home regular season game of the year. Hopefully looking to get that home playoff game. Based on what we were talking about pre-game, they'll likely face Hamilton in the first round, it looks like.
Yeah.
Hoping to get the win and then take on Windsor in some kind of an OFC final where they can get revenge for those 2 tough defeats they've faced so far in the year, Ron.
So, Matt, they actually have to go on the road next week to Hamilton to play the Hurricanes. How tough is that going to be to get your team ready to play back-to-back opponents on back-to-back weeks?
You know, I've been a part of that, I think, twice in my career when we played the team last week of the regular season, then first round of the playoffs, once in high school. I think we played Lucas back-to-back. Obviously a tough rivalry there, Lucas and South. And then in the summer football, we actually did it with Essex where we played them week 6, had a bye, waited to play them week 8, and then played them week 9 in the first round of the playoffs. So that was tough as well. I think definitely there's 2 approaches. You can either say, hey, we don't want to show anything against these guys, or, hey, we're going to show everything against these guys. But regardless, the second game always comes down to kind of adjustments and changes. As Quinte has a first down here, deep inside their territory with 6 seconds left in the game. We'll see if Quinte tries to run a play or do they take a knee, takes the snap, hands the ball off up the middle, and that'll likely run the clock out. The clock will tick down with the whistle to 0 and likely be at the end of the half as I expect to see Quinte take a knee here, Ron. So far, first half, 16-0 lead for the Beefeaters in London. We've seen turnovers on both teams. We've seen McCallum playing probably his best game of the year so far, and the offensive line for the Beefeaters has been, I would say, at points dominant. I don't think it's too strong of a word. Klubine, and then sprinkling in Dyer there, Ron. What do you think Quinte needs to do in the second half to make a game out of this?
Well, you know, realistically, you're only down 16 as we see them just hand the ball off to get out of the half here. You're only down 16. Now, you haven't hit a lot of stuff, okay? So potentially that could be an issue. You're still only down less than 3 scores. You know, like realistically, 2 scores if you go for 2 twice. but you're
Never
not
get a
out of
better
this
deal on
game.
jerseys.
Your defense has
Those are
played
streaming,
extremely
hot drinks,
well
hot
at
food.
times. Missed
Hot
on a
time.
couple times as well.
Enjoy the half, folks.
I think that they really need to shore up that run defense, maybe commit something more inside to stop that run. But they're playing pretty solid football. They got to get a couple drives going offensively, and they got to capitalize on Beefeater mistakes when that happens.
Well, that's it, Ron, for us for the first half. 16-0 London leads at halftime. We're going to take a quick break as I go look for a free hot dog somewhere, see if we can get somebody to throw me one. But thanks for joining us. We'll be back shortly on London Beefeaters Television. Ron, we're back for the second half action here from Citywide Field in London, Ontario. London Beefeaters, Quinte Skyhawks. London leads 16-0 as Quinte kicks off to start the second half. Deep kickoff here, fielded by London. He's up and through the middle. He's got some space. And now he doesn't. Caught up for a pretty good return there. London will start first down, just shy of their 35-yard line, Ron. Right before half, we talked about what does Quinte need to do to get this game going, but let's talk about London for a second. What does London have to do to make sure that they walk away with a win after the first half?
I think you still have to run that inside zone against that three-man line. Quincy's playing kind of like a 3-4 or a 3-3-6, so the inside run's going to be there consistently, and the Beefeaters have done a good job of exploiting the holes and running right at them.
McCallum in the shotgun. He's got Klubine behind him. Takes the snap, turns, hands off outside to Klubine on the left. Klubine's up through the line. Short gain. He'll fall forward after a pile of Quinte Skyhawks bring him down. It'll be a modest gain for the Beefeaters there as they face second down and we'll call it 4-yard line. Sorry, second down and 4 to go. London Beefeaters, 2nd and 4 here. Nice run to start the second half for London there, Ron.
Yeah, again, positive momentum coming out of the half. That's what you're looking for. Let's get some first downs. Let's get a drive going here. Let's reestablish ourselves, our dominance in the second half here.
McCallum in the shotgun. He's got Klubine over to the left side, now to the right. 3 receivers, bottom of the screen. McCallum takes a snap, turns, hands off to Klubine. Klubine's up the middle. He's got limited space there. Depending on the spot, could have a first down. It looks like it's going to be short, though, based on the angle. First down for London Beefeaters. My eyes tricked me. Not the first time, won't be the last time, but we got a first down for London there. 2 straight runs to start the second half for the Beefeaters as Klubine seems to be the workhorse and London continues to run the ball, Ron.
Yeah, and again, good job by the offensive line, exploiting, opening up some holes as we see LJ Dyer now in the game for the Beefeaters.
LJ Dyer checks in, the London South graduate, behind McCallum. McCallum turns, hands off to Dyer on the outside zone, and Dyer is met handily by the defensive end for Quinte as he burns through the offensive line for a loss. 2nd and 12 for London Beefeaters here as Coach Lake and the Beefeaters have come out running the ball in the second half. Tough decision now on 2nd and long. Do you throw the ball with McCallum or do you run? Ron, what do you think?
Well, the way that you've coached this game, you're almost in 2-down territory, so I wouldn't mind another run here. Although I think you're going to see a lot of pressure, so maybe you try to hit something quick here as well.
Definitely an aggressive mindset for the Beefeaters so far, opening the game with an onside kick, a fake punt, and going forward on 3rd down several times. Throwing the balls, McCallum, he's got a receiver with space. It'll be short of the first down marker, but it picks up a good chunk and gives them an option here on 3rd and call it 4. Go forward or punt the ball, Ron. 3rd and 4, go for it or punt.
I think the MO all day has been to go for it as the punt unit comes out, so... once again, I'm mistaken in it. I don't mind this, Matt. Let's pin them down. Quinte really hasn't shown much offensively. Let's pin them back, make them play the long field. Let our defense go out there and eat a little bit, and see if we can get a turnover.
London playing the old field position game here as the punt team comes out. Centino back behind center to punt as the ball is just shy of the center field yard marker on the 51-yard line. A Beefeater snaps to Centino. Centino turns. He booms it with his left foot. Bounces. Quinte picks it up. Now no yards penalty on the play. Quinte's looking for more. The running back turns, cuts back. He's got space now and he's got a seam. Regardless, a decent return for Quinte, and we'll tack on 5 yards extra for the London Beefeaters being within that 5-yard halo, Ron. London's having some trouble kind of staying out of that 5-yard marker. Is that an issue with the bouncing ball and the punts, Ron?
Yeah, a lot of times that's, you never know how the ball is going to bounce, if it's going to bounce forward, back, side to side. You think it's going one way, and all of a sudden it goes another direction. So it's really tough to do. You got to try to gear down a little bit just before you get to that 5-yard zone and break down and give them that 5 yards. It's a discipline thing. It really is.
Stevens in the shotgun for Quinte as he brings his receivers in motion, turns, hands off the ball at the middle. No yards, no gain for the Quinte running back as London Beefeaters defensive line stifles him.
On the carry.
Possibly 1 yard.
Small gain up the middle.
Maybe 2.
2nd and medium.
2nd and 8 for Quinte here. Deep in their own territory. Looking for the first down to start the second half down 16-0 to the Beefeaters. London's defense has been strong. They've had turnovers. Bend, but don't break. Quinte, quarterback, in the shotgun. Turns. Looking to throw. Ball's in the air. Completed. Might have enough for the first down. Breaks tackle. Now he definitely has enough. First down, Quinte. Best throw of the night so far for Carter Stevens and the Quinte quarterback, as he's able to convert on the 2nd and long. Quinte's got something cooking here, Ron.
Yeah, again, they've tried that quick game of getting the ball out quickly to the receivers, trying to get one guy to miss a tackle. Hasn't gone all their way all the time, but a really good job seeing the pressure coming, catching the ball, making the decision almost pre-read, and off to the races you go.
I sure hope it's Quinte, because I've been calling him that all day. Quinte. Stevens back to pass, quick throw out, the flats, whistles on the play. Looks like this play will be stopped before it started on the whistles. Not sure what we're seeing here, but definitely we saw some whistles from the referee.
I think there was a whistle actually
Incomplete.
behind us.
Oh, geez. We're often confused by the soccer game going on behind us, so basically ignore everything I just said. Regardless, 2nd down and 10 for the Quinte Skyhawks here, as the soccer referees behind us are throwing old Matt Snyder for a loop as we hear multiple whistles in the middle of the play. And sometimes I forget this is a multi-purpose facility here in London. We're very fortunate to have it, but obviously when the soccer game's going on, you get whistles, and sometimes my old age comes out.
Well, we've kind of looked at each other a couple times going, was that a whistle?
Yeah.
Mid-play? What the heck's going on? Oh, yeah, they're playing behind
Stevens
us.
takes a snap, looks to pass, got a receiver completed on 2nd and long for a moderate gain. Not enough for a first down, but they're over
Pass complete.
the 50, close to center field. Quinte's got to make a decision now. Coach Goldie is forced to decide. Go for it on 3rd and 5 or punt. It looks like the offense is staying off the field. They'll go for it, down by 16 here to the London Beefeaters as the clock ticks under 10 minutes left in the 2nd quarter. Quinte looking to get a drive going here. They've got a first down already. Looking to get another one on 3rd and 5 here as they break the huddle. Stevens at quarterback for the Skyhawks in their black uniforms with the fluorescent yellow trim. Brings his receivers in motion, takes a snap. He's back to pass, looks to his left. He's got a receiver off his hands and incomplete. He had a receiver with some red jerseys around him, and regardless, that'll be a turnover on downs. London takes over inside the Quinte end of the field, Ron.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. And again, just a quick decision with the little out route here, what they're trying to hit. If he catches that, I'm not sure he's going to get enough yards afterwards. I think he caught it a little bit short of the first down anyway, so it would have been a tough out.
London Beefeaters looking to kind of make this a 3-score game here with another touchdown. They've started multiple drives deep in Quinte territory. Another drive here starts over center as McCallum breaks the huddle. McCallum in the shotgun. He's got Klubine beside him. Klubine's been the workhorse so far with Van Bell out for the game. He sends his receivers in motion. Klubine motions out to the left. Turns, throws that wide receiver screen to Foster. Foster's getting yards. Keeps his feet moving, falls forward. Be a large game for London. 7 yards. We'll call it. It'll be 2nd and 3 here as the Beefeaters continue to run the football, throw those short, quick screen routes. Foster's been the guy, been the main target on those screens so far, Ron. What do you like about those receiver step-off screens?
They're so hard to defend because you have to defend the vertical, and when you get a couple blockers out there, you're putting pressure on your corners to make a tackle in open space. Sometimes they're really, really good at tackling. More times than not, they're really, really good at covering people, and that's why they play those deep, wide positions.
Callum brings multiple receivers in motion, turns to throw. He's got over the middle Foster. Foster with the catch, short gain. But it'll look like it'll be we're going to get a spot here that's going to keep London just a yard shy of the first down. We'll call it 3rd and 1 here for London. Actually, 3rd and 9 inches. 3rd and 9 inches for London Beefeaters here as they have to make a decision. We're getting a close spot, and the referees are going to confer about something. I'd like to be in on that huddle because I always want to know what they talk about. I imagine they're trading recipes or where they're going for drinks after the game. I'm teasing. We have the best referees in the province here. First down. Great call. You know what I like about that call, Ron? They get together, they confer, and they correct the call on the field, and that's veteran refereeing right there from a crew. We mentioned this before the game. A crew of some of the guys in London who have been doing this for a long time. They get the right decision on the field. And so far, we've seen a couple close calls where the referees have actually been right on. We had the one right in front of us on the out of bounds with the replay showed that was a great call. We kind of had to start. We're like, oh, that wasn't out of bounds, but replay corrected us, and the referees were bang on. McCallum in the shotgun here. Klubine beside him, brings his receivers in motion again, takes a snap, turns, hands off to Klubine. Klubine's up the middle, gain of 5.
Klubine off to the races, up the middle.
5-yard gain for Klubine with a holding penalty on the play. Likely will bring that back for London as London continues to pound the ball between the tackles with pretty good success here. The offensive line is getting off the ball. The holding penalty will bring it back. 10-yard penalty. We'll see a first and 10 here first and 20 for London after the penalty is applied. Deep inside Quinte territory, Ron. Klubine has been a powerful runner so far. He's had the yards when the piles are there. He's been able to convert when the holes present themselves and turn some short gains into some long gains. What do you like about Klubine's game so far, Ron?
Really good low to the ground runner today. He's showing another gear, which really, a lot of these running backs, they need touches during the game to get going. You can see him almost getting stronger as the day goes on. I really like the blocking again. I've kind of said that a number of times today.
Callum turns and throws a swing pass to the receiver, who is met by a plethora of Quinte black jerseys for a loss, and it'll be second and long for London Beefeaters. We will say at least 22. Second and 22 for London Beefeaters. Just shy of the 50-yard line here in London. The London Beefeaters lead 16-0 against the Quinte Skyhawks on a beautiful Saturday evening with just a hint of chill in the air in this lovely October.
Hint of chill in the air.
Hint of chill in the air. My toes would disagree. My toes would say a ton of chill in the air, but regardless, actually a pretty good night. A little bit overcast, but clear, no rain, which is important. We're all dry. McCallum in the shotgun, brings his receiver down in motion in the line, takes a snap. He's back to pass. He's looking. Lots of time, throws over the middle. He's got a receiver open. First down and more. Great completion from McCallum to Foster on the post route, and the London Beefeaters will move the chains on a 2nd and 22 pass from McCallum to Foster. We've said it before. Best game of the year so far that we've seen from McCallum. A lot of patience in the pocket, a lot of calm, and he's finding the open guys. Great strike there, Ron. What do you like about that pass call?
You know, again, for me, it all comes down to the offensive line play. No pressure whatsoever inside, so it's allowing McCallum to step up and step into his throws. And as a quarterback yourself, Matt, you know that is the difference between a ball going awry or being a first down.
Absolutely. McCallum takes a snap, back to pass. He's got pressure. He is met by a bunch of London Quinte Skyhawks defenders, and it's a sack on first down. That'll be a loss of 4 as the London offensive line simply overwhelmed by the blitz from Quinte, who brought 6 on the play. McCallum takes a sack. Big play on for Quinte to gain some yards. They needed a big stop there. We'll see if they're able to turn that into a punt here as the Beefeaters face the 2nd and 14 with the ball spotted just past the 35-yard line on the 34 of Quinte going in. London leads 16-0 here, Ron.
Yeah, this number 19 for the Quinte Skyhawks has had himself a game. They move him all over the field. He basically tries to come off the edge. He's been a problem for the Beefeaters to deal with all day.
Craig Gonzalez for the Quinte Skyhawks as McCallum turns with a snap. He's looking to scramble. He's got the ball in the air. Batted as the ball is thrown and close to an interception for the Quinte defender, but unfortunately for them, fortunately for McCallum, the ball falls to the turf, and it'll be 3rd and 14 for London. Just shy of the 35-yard line as Coach Lake elects to send the field goal team out here, looking to tack on another 3. 16-0 London leads here in this OFC action between the 4-2 London Beefeaters and your 2-5 Quinte Skyhawks on a beautiful Saturday night, Ron.
Yeah, fantastic evening here, Matt. Again, thank you very much for joining us here on Beefeater TV. Producer Adam Melrose, Alex Stoddard on camera again with those great shots that we needed. As it's the punt team that's out, Matt.
Punt team out for London Beefeaters as Centino stands just past the 50 on the 49 of Quinte, looking to punt and pin Quinte deep. Snap to Centino. Centino booms it away. It's a high punt. Going to be fielded by the Skyhawks. Deep in their end zone, he drops the ball. The ball is bouncing. He will likely give up the point here. Oh, he's looking to return and gets out. He's wide to the right. He's over center. He's up the sidelines. We got a bit of a return here. And the ball will be moved out to the 20-yard line on the punt. But great return there. Great return there from Kazmaier for Quinte as he's able to get the ball out past center over the 5-yard line. And it looks like it'll move the ball to the 20-yard line as Quinte takes over a first down by 16. Do you like the decision to punt there versus going for it, Ron?
Yeah, I kind of do in that scenario. Again, we kind of talked about it a little bit, Matt. You know, the offense really hasn't shown much ability to throw anything consistently against the Beefeaters. So to punt the ball down, you're up. You're playing the field position game. You're playing the smart Canadian game. And again, at this point, you're thinking the clock is my friend. So I want to take off some time and gain some valuable yards.
Stevens finds his receiver for a completion on first down as the Quinte Skyhawks start the drive with a gain. If you hear some sounds of chewing, it's because we were just handed a delicious box of some of the French fries for the local food trucks that are here on Alumni Weekend for the London Beefeaters. Walking into the stadium, I saw a lot of old London Beefeaters players, guys that I played with, guys that played before me. I saw a lot of guys wearing jerseys and London Beefeaters coats that might be a little too small for them. I know I was going to put my London Beefeaters coat on. Unfortunately, it didn't fit me. The thing about the COVID I found is all my clothes shrunk. I don't know if it's something with the material or whatnot, but everything is a little bit tighter than it was before COVID, so definitely a problem with all the T-shirts in my closet. But we'll look into that a little bit later as Stevens finds the receiver for a completion, and we got a first down there for Quinte on second down to move the chains. Quinte's got a drive going here as Stevens is starting to settle down and find the receivers here, Ron.
Yeah, that's a really good job of just sitting down, understanding that there's pressure coming off here. Just a nice little sit-down route. All you're looking for is 4 or 5 yards on that second down, and that's what you got. So again, they did a good job of protecting. They've actually done a really good job protecting overall in this game. I thought the defensive line would have much more of an impact. It's been a linebacker play for the linebackers, for the Beefeaters that have made a lot of plays here.
Stevenson's under pressure, and he is sacked by a bunch of London Beefeaters defenders there on first down. That'll drive Quinte back for a loss of about 7. Second and 17.
As I literally just said, wow, the offensive line has really done a good job. We haven't had a lot of pressure on the quarterback unless they're coming with the blitz. The defensive line says, "Oh, I'll take that, and let's up that bet."
So we can all blame Ron Forwerda there for the pressure on London. Ron, I put a little bit of money down on the old Clemson Tigers, so maybe you could say something nice about Pittsburgh today and help me win some money, because it seems like whatever Ronnie mentions today kind of goes opposite for the teams as he makes several predictions.
For the record, I am a Panthers fan. You know, I remember Marino playing there with the old script pit across their helmets and the little stickers that they used to put on. Great program. It'll actually be a great game tonight. I'm looking forward to it.
Interception from the London Beefeaters. Tyler Thompson is Johnny on the spot. He's going to take that in for a major score as we talk about the London Beefeaters defense. Tyler Thompson with the timely interception on the Stevens pass, and that'll put London up 23-0 pending the PAT with 2:18 left in the third quarter here.
Yeah, you know, again, just a really good job understanding you're in zone coverage in that particular play. So what you're doing is you're getting to your area. They've had a lot of success and have tried a lot of these quick passes to kind of neutralize the pass rush for the Beefeaters. That time, everyone understands we have like a 5 to 7 yard area. Let's box that area out. Beefeaters show blitz, back out of it, and all of a sudden now 6 points the other way.
Tyler Thompson with the interception return for the touchdown. The best thing about him is he played high school football for another great offensive coordinator in high school. So kudos to Tyler Thompson for having a great high school offensive coordinator at South, a handsome fella. And he has a timely interception. I'm sure all those skills he learned from his high school offensive coordinator really helped him with the play. But regardless, London Beefeaters jump out to a 22-0 lead. The PAT drives up to 23. 2 minutes and 25 seconds left. Call it 2:18 left in the third quarter as London Beefeaters out to a comfortable lead, 23-0. It's Saturday night in London at Citywide Field. It's me, Matt Snyder, joined by the PhD of local high school commentary, Professor Ron Forwerda. We got a beautiful evening, a beautiful crew as the London Beefeaters look for their 5th OFC win of the year here, gearing up for what hopes to be a long playoff run for Coach Lake and his Beefeaters football squad. Centino back to kick off to Quinte. with London leading 23-0 here. The weather's been delightful, other than a slight chill in the air and in our toes. Centino booms the kickoff deep. It's going to drive the Quinte Skyhawk returner deep. He's going to field it. He's up to the left side of the field. Breaks through the middle. Got a little bit of space there. Makes something out of nothing there. That'll give Quinte decent field position here as they look to get the offense moving. They've struggled so far this game, Ron. You're down by 23. You just threw an interception return for a touchdown. If you're a quarterback for Quinte, what's your mindset at this point?
You know, you don't want to turn the ball over anymore, but, you know, if you're Coach Goldie, I think you got to go right back to it to try to get some confidence back in your quarterback. I was about to ask you before, Matt, at what point do you start looking at substitutions for the Beefeaters? You know, we're up 23-0. There's 2 minutes left in the third quarter. You kind of want to get some experience for that what if down the road. I wouldn't be surprised to see the starters go through one more drive in the fourth quarter and then maybe do it, kind of start slowly substituting some of these players in.
Definitely. That's always the kind of the tough question when you're a coach and you're getting ready for a playoff game, but you want to get your substitutes ready to create depth, but you want to give guys a chance to work on stuff. Our philosophy has always been if we have players that we feel comfortable with kind of being in the mix, we'll start to sub them in right now and maybe give our backup quarterback a couple series with the first offensive line before we give the backup offensive line a chance, just to give him a chance to kind of get in the flow of the game. But I definitely think you want to create depth in this situation, so playing as many guys as you can at this point in the game is always going to be a benefit to you. As Quinte lines up for the snap, Stevens is back to pass. He's got a receiver up the sideline who jumps up to make the catch. Brendan Robbins with the completion. Big game for Quinte on second down. We'll see if it's enough to move the chains as the referees look for the spot. Might be short.
I think he's going to be a half yard short or a yard short here.
Half a yard to a yard short for Quinte on third down by 23 as they have a decision to make. Coach Goldie will have to decide, do you punt this away or go for it, Ron? What would you do in this situation if you were head coach of the Skyhawks? But unfortunately, for some reason, the ball is not being spotted, and we'll see what happens.
They're saying incomplete?
Incomplete pass. Looked to me like it was caught, but again,
maybe he was out of bounds.
Oh, maybe he was out of bounds. Out of bounds, and it'll be third down and 10 for Quinte. As there's a disagreement on the field between the referees and the coaching of Quinte over whether that play was actually caught in bounds or not, and so we'll allow the confusion to kind of subside, as obviously it won't be the first time, won't be the last time that a coach and a referee disagreed on the outcome of a call. The referees confer. We've got a beautiful evening here in London, Ontario at Alumni Weekend for the London Beefeaters as they take on the Quinte Skyhawks. We're live on YouTube. If you're watching, thanks for joining us. We're happy to have you. Hopefully you like what you hear. We were talking at halftime, Ron. I definitely have a face made for television as long as I'm behind the camera. So
I'd love to tell you what
I kid. I'm very handsome. But we're here on a beautiful Saturday evening.
Other than the plane,
we're missing Johnny Urban, but I'm starting to find my role as a play-by-play guy, and we got the PhD of local football commentary, Professor Ron Ferwerda, on the color as the London Beefeaters take on the Quinte Skyhawks. I'm going to say it again. I love the uniforms of Quinte here. It's what did we say earlier? It's kind of like if Oregon and Iowa had a baby, these would be the uniforms.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, just going so everyone's kind of aware, that was a completion, and they gave him almost gave him the first down.
Quinte goes for it on short yardage and fumbles the exchange. London Beefeaters will recover regardless of who has the ball. It's going to be a first down for London as Quinte unable to convert on the short yardage run play. First down for the London Beefeaters, deep inside Quinte territory, leading 23-0. There's 33 seconds left in the third quarter on this lovely Saturday evening as the London Beefeaters look to strike again. McCallum out for a quarterback for the Beefeaters for another series. He'll huddle his boys up and get the signals in. Coach Lake preparing the team for hopefully a deep playoff run. McCallum in the huddle. He's been beneficiary of some strong running from Klubine today in place of Tazi Vang Bell, who has been out with an injury. Klubine's running hard. He's been effective. We got Dante McPhail checking in at running back now for the Beefeaters, the Saunders graduate. There's a whistle on the play. We got our referees now conferring.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see what the referees are discussing on this one. It's good to see we saw some of the younger players coming in on that last defensive series. So, the question was, at what point do you start, bringing some of your other players in? Dante McPhail, you know, he's been in on a couple of little bits here and there. The Saunders Sabre product, Junior Mustang product as well. Somebody who I know quite well. Dante is a good kid, talented runner, very, very physical. Brings something different to the table than the other two backs. Maybe not quite as fast as a Klubine, but definitely a little bit thicker and a little bit more of a pop when he runs.
McCallum in the shotgun. He's got 4 receivers to the bottom of the screen. He sends them in motion. He takes a snap, turns, hands off to McPhail, who powers up to the line for a short gain. We'll call it gain of 2. 2nd and 8 for the London Beefeaters as the clock ticks down. Under 10 seconds now in the quarter.
Short game.
This will likely be the last play in the third quarter as London leads 23-0 here in Quinte, deep inside the Quinte territory. Drive started on a 3rd and short turnover for Quinte when they're unable to exchange the ball to the running back. They fumbled. McCallum breaks the huddle. He's got McPhail still in the game. He's got 3 receivers to the bottom of the screen. McPhail to his left. He barks out the signal, sends his receivers in motion. He's back to pass. Pressure for London. McCallum's got the ball in the air, and he's got his receiver there. Did it bounce? Looks like it's a touchdown for the London Beefeaters. As McCallum finds Mitchell Spence for the London Beefeaters touchdown. And the Beefeaters jump out to a 29-0 lead over this Quinte Skyhawks team that looks like they've kind of met their match at this point. Maybe too much for them to handle, seeing as the offenses struggled to move the ball consistently. Ron, what do you like about that call?
You know, I like the read because McCallum understands that they're in that 3-3-6 kind of defense, and with that defense, pressure can come from all different kind of areas. And that time, they tried to bait the Beefeaters to think that the short was there and then drop a corner off. The problem was they had a simple fade route going, or a simple go route going on there, and he beat him for the touchdown. As we see a bench penalty against Coach Goldie, who, you know, that's unfortunate, you know, who didn't necessarily agree with a couple of the calls earlier on there, but, you know, we've all been in situations where we didn't necessarily agree with a call or two. But
speak for yourself, Ron. I've never disagreed with a referee's call in my entire life coaching football, so I don't know what you're talking about. Regardless, Stackhouse back to kick the PAT for London. Flags on the play as he puts it through the uprights to jump out to a 30-0 lead, pending application of the penalty. But yeah, Ron, I've never disagreed with a call. I think they're always correct. Anytime I would ever speak to a referee, it's always to let them know what a great job I think they're doing and how I really appreciate everything they're contributing to the game. So remember that, guys, especially this Friday at 11 o'clock if you're working the high school game that I will be a part of.
Against Banting?
I'm not going to mention names, but regardless, we got a great London Beefeaters football game here. End of the third quarter. London Beefeaters lead 30-0 over the Quinte Skyhawks, who made quite the drive down from that region. I'm hopefully saying that correctly. If it's Quinte and not Quinte, I apologize that I've been saying it wrong all night. We got a beautiful evening here. 30-0 for the London Beefeaters, who will likely move to 5-2 at the end of this game as the fourth quarter starts here at Citywide Field, Ron. It's Saturday night in Citywide. Beautiful Saturday fall evening. And I'm joined here with my good friend Ron Forward as we call a beautiful football game. Ron, I'll tell you what, we talked about it earlier, but I'll say it again. It feels so good to have football back.
Yeah, you know, it's been such a struggle for a lot of these young men who, you know, a kid like Dante McPhail, let's kind of talk about him for a second. He went back to high school this year with the intent of going, well, okay, I'm going to go do a victory lap, so to speak, and play some high school football. And then some of the teams played, some of the teams didn't. So it was really, really hit and miss. So Walker Anton John, Keyshawn Cuff, Dante McPhail. Those are 3 guys that originally started playing this for this team at the start of the year, decided to go back to high school, missed a couple of the games to begin with in the season, and then came back and now are playing. And now that some of them are starting to play meaningful snaps, it's great to see the young guys, the next group up, coming up.
London Beefeaters will kick off from center field after the penalty on Quinte, the penalty of frustration, we'll call it. We've got a great, clear evening here in London as the Beefeaters lead 30-0. Start of the fourth quarter here. OFC action between your London Beefeaters and the Quinte Skyhawks. Centino to kick off deep in London or Quinte's territory. He turns and booms at kickoff. That's going to send the returner deep in the end zone. He catches it, unable to secure it. Ball is bouncing around. And he'll smartly take a knee to start the drive. We'll have 1 point on the board for London, and Quinte will move up to the 35-yard to start the drive. Down 31-0 in the fourth quarter of this OFC action. Do you think we'll see Quinte start to go to their bench and play some of their depth players, or is this a situation where they're trying to keep some momentum going for the season, maybe stay with their starters?
I think for Quinte, you want to get another series or two for your starters. Let's get some positive things happening. Let's get some first downs. Let's get a drive. Let's put some points on the board. Let's get some positive things going into next week's game. If you're the Beefeaters, I think the time is now where you start making some wholesale substitutions gradually through this quarter, really through this drive. I would say, depending on how long it is, but I would really start to get some of those younger depth players in there and get them some game reps, because we talked about a couple of those kids, Keyshawn Cuffin in particular. I don't recall seeing him on the field yet, and that is a fantastic ball player who just really needs some reps.
As Stevens finds his receiver for a first down gain for Quinte. Quinte on first down. Great pass from
in the game for
new quarterback in the game for Quinte. It's
he's not incorrect. That's Kyle Barnett hooking up with Tristan Gilbert.
I can't see the number, Ron. I'll be honest. So I'm going to wait.
The 46-yard line.
Is that number 9?
I'm not sure. It was number 9 was the receiver. Number 6 was also was the favorite target of Quinte's kind of all day. Does a really good job of the out. The quarterback is number 9.
Number 9. That's Kyle Barnett at quarterback for Quinte here. First down and 10 for the Skyhawks. Just shy of center field. Drops back to pass. Throws that quick screen. He's got space to go, but he's dragged down for a gain of 4. He's 2nd and 6 for Quinte here. If you're in London watching live, still time for you to get down here and catch some of these delicious fries from the fry truck parked in the parking lot at Citywide Field. Me and Ron can speak the truth when we say they are delicious.
Fantastic. There's nothing like a hot plate of fries on a cool evening. Thank you to the Wonder Bread for delivering that over to us. We appreciate that.
Great night for football here as Quinte faces a 2nd and 6 with the ball on their 50-yard line. 3 receivers to the top of the screen for the Skyhawks as the new quarterback for Quinte barks out the signals. He sends his receivers in motion. Got a little bit of a false snap situation there, trying to draw London offside. London holds, snaps the ball, turns, runs. Quarterback rolls out to the left. He's got receivers open, throws the ball, completed, but he's down. Based on initial spots, it'll be short of a first down.
No, he's got it.
Oh, he's got a first down. That's why we work, because teamwork makes the dream work, Ron. You see it, I call it. First down for Quinte. Based on the arm of Kyle Barnett. I can't. I'm butchering names today. I guess I'm going to blame the cold.
He's 3 for 3 on his passing here. So, let's get some positive. We talked about let's get some positive momentum. Let's get a drive. Let's get some first downs. Quarterback's 3 for 3 now. Couple first downs. Hey, you want to build some momentum? Let's build off this. Really good composure so far. Let's see if we can keep it going.
Quinte moves over center field, down 31-0. Thrown, intercepted. London Beefeaters with another turnover.
There's that guy,
and they'll take over again, just shy of the 50. Tyler Thompson yet again with his 2nd interception of the game. He is a strong defensive player out of London South.
Yeah, it's a blue and white ticket.
And he has his 2nd interception of the game on another turnover for Quinte. Quinte, unfortunately, has turned the ball over several times as they announced the 50-50 draw winner in the background. London Beefeaters lead 31-0 with 12:33 left in the fourth quarter here in London, Ontario in OFC action. If you're joining us, you're likely a fan of some great football.
We have a winner.
London will take over just over the 55-yard line. If you're an American watching, you're probably like 55-yard line. What's this guy talking about? Well, we have 10 yards of more field in London, and then all over Canada. So we're very fortunate. McCallum at quarterback, Klubein beside him in the shotgun. He's got 3 receivers at the bottom of the screen. McCallum sends him in motion. He drives the defense offside with a great hard count, and that'll be a free 5-yard gain for the London Beefeaters. Ron, what do you like about that hard count?
Well, again, they've had a lot of pressure coming from number 19 off the edge. So here you got So why is that blowing dead? Why doesn't the offense get a play? Because that would be what you call unobstructed to the quarterback. So that's going to be the 5 yards, the 5-yard variety going against the Skyhawks. And again, just really good. You're trying to slow down the rush. Why are they marking the yards against London all of a sudden? I thought they went the other way.
Looks like they're going to call it offside.
On McCallum for the. There we go.
There we go.
Yeah, it's just a touch of confusion there. But that's okay because they all worked together and they figured out 5 yards on the penalty for London. 1st and 5 for the Beefeaters. Just past the 50-yard line of Quinte, leading 31-0 here in London, Ontario. The Beefeaters looking to close out this win for their 5th of the season, getting ready for an inevitable playoff matchup against the Hamilton Hurricanes in a few weeks. McCallum in the shotgun. He's got 3 receivers to the bottom of the screen. Klubine beside him. He calls out the signals, turns, hands off to Klubine, who's got room up the middle, pushes through the pile for a gain of 6. 2nd and 4 for the London Beefeaters, Ron. Klubine has been the workhorse, Ron. What do you like about his game as the plays continue to mount in his favor on the ground?
Well, again, he's getting numerous touches. It's the most touches we've seen him get in the season. And like I said, he seems to be getting stronger. He's really running really solid, low to the ground. He's running with explosion. He's decisive when he's running. Not a lot of dancing, not a lot of juking in the hole. He's accelerating through the hole. He's had himself a real great game tonight.
Rough count on my end is over 20 carries for Klubine. Ron, what would happen if you had to take 20 carries in an OFCF football game based on your condition today? How would you feel the next day?
I'd have a heart attack.
There you go. McCallum finds receiver open over the middle for a 1st down and more. He finds Sam Ruby for a huge gain as the Beefeaters continue to move the chains. McCallum wheeling and dealing, playing his best game of the year so far. He's been calm, he's been confident, he's been patient. Great play fake to Klubine's opened up a window behind him, and Ruby is able to convert for a huge chunk as the Beefeaters are knocking on the Quinte door with a 1st down and 10 inside their 25. I'm Matt Snyder. Ron Forwerda joins me in the booth at Citywide Field as the Beefeaters look for their 5th win of the season, up 31-0 with 10 minutes and change left in this game. McCallum sends his receivers in motion. False start on the right tackle there. He'll be a little bit early on the call. Just a touch impatient for the right tackle in his pass protection. And that'll drive the Beefeaters back for 5 yards. They caught Quinte early on the hard count, and it looks like it bit him a little bit today, Ron.
Yeah, that's kind of been the matchup all day. Number 19's had his way sometimes with that tackle. And again, he's coming a lot. So good on him. And that time they give the 5 yards back, unfortunately, for the Beefeaters. Going back, Matt, what makes Klubine so dangerous was that exact play that they just ran before that is the RPO to your big slots. When you hit that post, it is so hard to defend.
McCallum back to pass. Lots of time. He's got a receiver over the middle, wide open. And we'll have a touchdown for the London Beefeaters as McCallum finds Mitchell Spence for, I think, their 3rd of the game, if I'm correct. Driving the Beefeaters score 37-0 with 9:57 left in the game. McCallum was patient in the pocket, had a lot of time, and was able to find Spence on the post route for the major. Ron, what do you like?
Yeah, again, they keep going to that from that 3-3-6 where they're blitzing off the edge. They're bringing the other safety down. Here you go. You got so many guys in the box, and now you're just trying to get which matchup do you like better? And the slots have had that significant advantage a few times today. We've seen a couple of those. Unfortunately, we're going to see 15 yards on the objectionable conduct at the end of the play. He was obviously in, and then he got tackled anyway. And
a lot of frustration mounting on the Skyhawks end of it. And obviously the end of a tough road trip down here. Definitely not the outcome they would have expected. London's had a lot of success with that switch motion into the boundary, bringing the receiver in the slot down and kind of exchanging responsibilities. Looked like Spence just won leverage on his corner and was able to find that post road with a lot of space behind him. McCallum did a great job hanging in there to find it. As we got a London Beefeaters 38-0 lead here. I think this game is all but over at this point.
6-1 or 6-80?
9:57 left in the game in London. Beautiful Saturday evening. We're all looking forward to a great playoff run for the Beefeaters here as Coach Lake and his staff have the team clicking. I think this has been the most well-rounded game I've seen so far this year. Really like the play of McCallum.
Yeah.
He's been confident. He's been poised in the pocket, patient. Offensive line for the Beefeaters probably played their strongest as a group. We all mentioned that as well. Obviously, Tazzy Van Bell scratched from today due to injury, but Klubine stepped up and ran really hard. Dyer has some carries, and he's been a great compliment. And I think Mitchell Spence has been pretty strong in the receiving game with a couple big completions there. Spencer Foster's been strong on the screen game. He's had a couple huge chunks, and the Beefeater special teams have been strong as well with the onside kick to start the game and then a fake punt later. Deep kickoff from Centino, drives the returner back. He's out to the right. He's looking for space. He's around the edge. Quinte looking to return it past the 20. Over the 25. We'll call it out of bounds to the 24. Quinte will take over first and 10 from their 24-yard line. Trailing 38-0 here in London, Ron. If you're the offensive coordinator or the head coach for Quinte, and they're the same person, you're down 38-0. You're backup quarterbacks in the game. What's your mindset at this point?
Well, again, kind of like the same thing that we said before. We want to build some momentum. We want to put some positive things down on film. We want to be able to get some first downs and have some things for our kids to work on. You always want to leave a game with positive momentum. Even in kind of a one-sided score like this, we don't like to admit, but we've all been in them at some point or another where the score has been a lot for us or a lot against us, to not so much on the other side. What you're trying to do is develop character with your players, especially with a new program.
Barada drops the snap there.
For a loss.
And he's able to recover.
Jordan Fletcher
with the tackle for the London Beefeaters. He's been a force inside the middle,
loss of a bunch.
as he has been all year. The Connecticut native, who's been a huge addition for the Beefeaters team this year. There's a flag on the play again after the whistle. Looks like it's on the Quinte huddle. Definitely frustration mounting now for the Skyhawks as they're obviously not satisfied with how this game's gone. They got a long trip back ahead of them, which is tough to deal with. Obviously, the last thing you want to do after a big loss is get on a bus and drive down. But another 15-yard penalty. I don't even know if there's 15 yards left for the ball to go back, so it might be half the distance situation. But regardless, penalty moves them back. It'll put them in a second and long here facing the London Beefeaters team that is leading 38-0 as the clock ticks under 9 minutes to go.
Yeah, you're looking at almost like a second down and about 25 yards here, by the time you factor in, they got the ball to the 25-yard line. Now they're inside the 5. You're looking, second down and 30 here. As you can see, that kids is what we call in football a country mile.
Turns, hands off, looking to just give them some distance between themselves and the goal line. It'll be third and long. Quinte will send out the punt team here. Situation where you give up 2 to try to save some field position, Ron?
Yeah, I think so. At this point, let's be realistic. We're talking 8 minutes left in the game here. You're down 38-0. What's the difference between 38 and 40? Really, it's more valuable to give the yards. To get the yards than it is to give up those 2 points. Because, again, if the Beefeaters get the ball and all of a sudden you break a tackle, you're really close to the end zone as it is. Make them flip the field, give up the 2 points, and, hey, I've been wrong on most of these tonight, so we shall see.
So based on that prediction, look for Quinte to punt this ball out, but Rafferty back will expect him to take a knee deep inside the shadows of his end zone, and he takes a knee almost unintentionally, but regardless, good decision there for Quinte to give up the 2 points. London will jump out to a 40-0 lead, and I'll be honest, Ron, that's the first time you've been correct all night, so congratulations.
No. Just for the record, even a broken clock can get it right twice in a day.
Oh.
So, I believe that was the second or third time that I had it correct. But even still, I think it was a smart decision. I think it's really the only decision that you have at that point. Anytime that you're inside the 5-yard line or like inside the 10, and you're going to punt from the shadow of your old goal line, it's so much more important in the Canadian game to gain that field position back. So by giving up the 2 points, you flip the field again. You're going to force them to punt the ball here or kick the ball from the 20 rather than, taking the ball at your 35. So it is the coach's choice at that point of what you want to do. So the Beefeaters, they want to get some other stuff, maybe get some other players going in here. And so they're going to have their special teams out here, and they're going to do a return.
Quinte in their beautiful black uniforms with the Iowa-style trim, the fluorescent yellow, which we're already discussed. We're big fans of. Ron Forwerda with me in the booth as the London Beefeaters lead Quinte 40-0 with just over 8 minutes left. Ron's made some predictions tonight. Several have been incorrect. One thing that hasn't been incorrect, though, is the deliciousness of these fries that we've been so kindly handed, and I've been munching on them as Ron provides his color commentary. Onside kick situation here. Whoa, we got a great collision. Flag on the play on that one. Likely going to be against the Quinte defender, who made no intention to go for the ball, simply striking through the Beefeaters returner, Wolf Sim, who was eyes to the sky looking to field that onside kick. You like the decision to kick onside there, down 40-0, Ron? Is that kind of a mindset? Because you're obviously not going to put yourself in a position where you're going to win this game based on one return.
I absolutely do, and it kind of caught me off guard as well, thinking, okay, well, what are they going to do? But you can't even on a kickoff, there is a halo where you can't strike a player who's trying to make a catch. You know, it's basically, it's like a no yards, but it's like a halo, and then because of that, it is unnecessary roughness. That's the type of hit that they're trying to take away from football. So when they talk about a defensive player or defensive receiver, you know, we don't want to block that pedestrian, or we don't want to hit that defenseless receiver. That's really the textbook example of what a defensive receiver would have been. He knows he's coming, okay? So he understands that. But you can't do that in the game today. Like, you just can't do this type of thing. I know he's trying to make a play. I get that, but you can't do that. I think that might be his second of the game.
Absolutely, a penalty that's going to be called in probably every league in the world right now. As Ethan Reed checks in at quarterback for the Beefeaters, Clark McCallum ends his day with a bunch of touchdowns. He's played his strongest game of the year in our opinion, and Reed will check in at quarterback now with McPhail beside him in the shotgun. London Beefeaters lead 40-0 with just over 8 minutes left tonight in Citywide Field on a lovely October Saturday. Reed says his receiver's in motion, takes a snap, turns, hands off to McPhail, who's up the middle. A lot of space for McPhail, who's got a big chunk of gain, probably a first down, and McPhail is tackled. His second carry of the gain, and he looks like the Beefeaters at this point are going to the bench. Ron, I'm going to ask you a question. You're down 40-0. You kick onside. Are you kind of giving London permission to continue to run their offense and throw the ball? Because obviously in a situation, London probably going to run the clock out, try to get out of this game with minimal damage. If you continue to be aggressive down 40-0, are you giving permission to the other team, the leading team, to continue to be aggressive on offense as well?
You still have to coach the game. You still have to play the game. I don't know permission per se, but you know, you're trying to make some plays for your team. You're trying to give your teams the opportunity to have the most success. You want to practice that kind of stuff.
Reed,
sorry, go ahead.
Reed turns, passes, incomplete. He had Lucas Zavaco on the out, but unable to complete it there. It'll be third and 3 for the Beefeaters here, just inside the 35-yard line for Quinte, up 40-0. Ron, continue your thoughts.
So again, my thinking there was, you know, why not? Why not do an onside kick? If it works, great. We get the ball back. We get a little bit of momentum. Let's string a first down or two together here. If it doesn't work, it's not like it's going to have a huge impact on the game. It gives your teams, some players, some reps of working on something that you want to have maybe in your bag down the road. And that was, again, off of safety. You don't see an onside kick off of a safety very often. It's just not something that you see a lot of. And it's one of the few times I've actually seen it in the years I've watched football. More times than not, it's a free kick where they punt it or something like that. The Canadian game is slightly different with some of the rules. That is one of those rules that it is actually very, very different. You can choose to kick the ball, or you can choose to get the ball on the 35-yard line. The Beefeaters chose to have them kick the ball. They want to get their special teams more reps. They maybe get a couple backups on special teams, some reps. Quinte at that point goes, all right, game on, let's onside kick it. You know, we want to play like that. Again, you're trying to get positive things down there.
Reed still in at quarterback for London, leading 40-0 with 6:54 left in the game. Beefeaters looking for their 5th win of the season as the referee blows the play in. Reed barks his signals out. He's Brings his receivers in motion. Turns to throw. Quick pass. Completed to De Silva. De Silva's got room to run and more, and he's going to walk in the end zone for a London Beefeaters touchdown. I like the throw. Not sure I'm a fan of the actions at the end of the play. Up 40-0. You know, just score your touchdown and get off the field. But unfortunately, that's part of the game. London Beefeaters jump out to a 46-0 lead on the back of the Ethan Reed completion to De Silva for the long touchdown. Ron, what do you think?
Coach, you know, as myself as well, I've told this to kids who I've coached when they're 7 years old, and I've told this to kids when they're 18 years old. The same thing. When you score a touchdown, act like you've been there before. I don't like the hot dog stuff. I'm not a big fan of that kind of stuff. I get it. He's got a reception. He scored a touchdown. I think it's his first touchdown of the year, to be honest. And I know it's exciting. It's at home, on a night game, on a Saturday night. Those are all really exciting things. Act like you've been there before. Show a little bit of dignity. Show a little bit of class. Show like you're expecting to score that play. That's how in my opinion, you act it. But again, I'm very old school in some of my beliefs. Some of them, like people would say, archaic offenses or defenses that I run or something like that. I believe in playing the game with respect for your appointment, for your opponent, as well as there's an expectation of you as a player. So I don't like the extracurricular stuff at the end. My little rant.
I agree. 47-0 lead for the London Beefeaters over the Quinte Skyhawks. London will jump out to the 5-2 record with one regular season game left next week, and then hopefully getting a home playoff game. Looks like they're on a collision course with the Hamilton Hurricanes. 6:42 left in the game. Beautiful Saturday evening. Slightly chilly, mostly in my toes, as Centino looks to kick off for the Beefeaters. Coach Lake and his London Beefeaters run game has been dominant. Early turnovers on both teams, but London leaned heavily on their run game thanks to Jeff Klubine and LJ Dyer in place of the injured Taz Vang Bell. And the Beefeaters jump out to a 47-0 lead. McCallum, who is now out of the game at quarterback, Ethan Reed in for relief of him, played his best game, McCallum that is, of this season. Looks like the London Beefeaters will jump out to a 5-2 record here with 6:42 left in the game. Quinte Skyhawks, first-year program in the OFC. You know, they've won 2 games this year. Nothing to be ashamed of. They've, made some great strides. Obviously, first year at this level, difficult, but they have a lot to be proud of. They'll wrap up the season next week. Sorry, this is actually their last game of the regular season. My mistake. So their season's over. It looks like they won't make the playoffs this year. Maybe they will. I guess. Actually, 5 teams in the league. So they'll likely face the Windsor St. Clair Fratman in the first round, which may actually be a booby prize in some situations based on how strong St. Clair's look so far. But Quinte's a team that wants to compete, so they'll likely give it their best shot. Returners tackle with nowhere to go, and London will. Another strong coverage for the Beefeaters special teams, which has been a source of great pride for them this year. Special teams play for the Beefeaters has been something where they've really hung their hat on having some aggressiveness and some good creativity. Coach Scarpelli, the special teams coordinator, a good friend of mine, is a guy that loves to come up with different ideas attacking on special teams, and it's one area of football where some people kind of look past it, but really good teams are well coached on specials and have good players on special teams. Ron, what do you think of that?
Yeah, like special teams, I go back to a few years ago. I was at a clinic at Western, and it was the first time I really heard the game is a third. Your practice time needs to be a third. And as a coach myself, I really bought into that over the years. I really think special teams is, especially in the Canadian game, it's such a massive advantage if you can kick the ball and cover the ball and flip the field. And we've seen that in a lot of different games this year, the ability to flip the field or get pressure on the kick. Can you block that kick? Can we get a block? We've seen how many times this year? 5-6 times where the Beefeaters have blocked punts or blocked field goals that have been huge momentum swings at those points of the games. I go back to the very first week, Matt, where John and I were here, and the Beefeaters blocked 2 punts and a field goal in the first half. They set a tone, and it can be such a tone setter in the Canadian game.
Yeah, special teams, kicking and punting aren't really important unless you don't have a kicker punter. Then it's very important, but I kid, it's a huge part of the game in Canada. London Beefeaters with a sack on first down as Quinte starts to drive deep in their own territory, trailing 47-0. London Beefeaters looking for their 5th win of the season with 5:25 left in the game. And Quinte faces a 2nd and long, backed up in the shadows of their own goalpost, looking to get out of this game with no more damage to them. In at quarterback for Quinte is Kyle Baronet, in relief of Carter Stevens, who gave it everything he had. Brings his receiver in motion, turns, hands the ball off. Nowhere for the running back to run as the defensive line for the Beefeaters stifles them, and it'll be 3rd and long in the shadows of your own goalpost. Another situation here, Ron, where you're likely to give up to kind of stop the bleeding at this point.
Yeah, again, you've kind of shown everything where we're in. If you're wondering, hey, what's going on? During that last whistle, they kind of said we're going to run the clock at this point, so we're going to try to get this game done as quickly as possible. I think you'll see a knee and then maybe one more series by the offense, and that'll pretty much be it. I want to talk about next week's matchup, the London Beefeaters versus the Hamilton Hurricanes in Hamilton. The start of the season was kicked off here in London against the Hurricanes. It was really a game of inches. The score doesn't necessarily indicate that, but in that game, the Beefeaters made those big plays on those big long passes within just an inch, and it was incredible. And the Hurricanes just missed those big passes. So even though the score was a 2-score game by the end of it, that game, if you were here and watching it, it felt like it was a lot closer. It'll be interesting to see the last game of the regular season, how these two, knowing most likely they're going to be playing each other in the first round of the playoffs, how do they play each other? And can Hamilton win that game by a big enough margin to get the home field advantage? That's what next week's game is kind of coming down to. So there's a lot of things that you want to see your players. You want to see the composure cleaned up. You want to see the extra penalties taken away. That's the type of stuff the Beefeaters, from the very first game, both those teams struggled with. And now let's see which one can hold their composure, hold their water, so to speak, and take control and play the game and their field next week.
As Reed turns and hands off, London on first down with a short loss there. Nowhere to run for the London Beefeaters running back as the defense for Quinte stifles him.
Number 25 is the ball carrier, Matt. That was the first time I think he was in today.
Anderson out of Woodstock, I believe, and at running back for London now.
As
Coach Lake goes to his bench, trying to get as many players as he can experience in this game. Clock ticks under 2 minutes to go. London leading 49-0 here on a beautiful Saturday evening. We've loved having you with us as you watch on YouTube. Hopefully you liked what you heard and you'll join us again next week. Looking forward to the return of the smooth sounds of John Herman as the Quinte player will turn that's an interception for Quinte. Nathan Casimir with the interception of Ethan Reed's pass as Quinte will take over. Just over their 40-yard line with about a minute 36 left as the clock ticks down, 49-0 leading. You know, it won't win the game for them, but as you said a couple times, Ron, you want to finish the game off with some positives, things you can build on, getting ready for a tough playoff game in 2 weeks against the St. Clair Fratman here for Quinte. So that's exactly it. Gives them a little bit of momentum and hopefully some good things to kind of end off on a good note for the Quinte Skyhawks as they take over on offense here with just over a minute left in this game, Ron.
You know, again, we talked about it ad nauseum during different broadcasts this year. Composure is the key. You want to have positive on there. Line up, you're going to play the game because you're going to play it again next week. Know your opponent, know your assignments. Always, even bad film is good film in the sense that it teaches you something. And if your players in a first-year program are, you know, they're enthusiastic about playing and getting better, there will be positives out of this game.
Second down.
You know, for me, this game is special. And the fact that football in Ontario, football in Canada, it was taken away from us last year. This is kind of the end of our regular season broadcasting year as we know it. I think we're going to be back for the playoffs. I'm not 100% sure. There's not a date set or anything like that. For me, speaking for Coach Matt, Johnny Urban, myself, thank you very much for joining us this year, for allowing us to come into your homes, for spending a couple hours with us on a Saturday afternoon or a Saturday night. Football has been a challenge in Canada over the last while, and it's great to have it back. It's wonderful to see these young men. Matt, I'm going to leave the last couple words to you. Thank you very much for doing this with me. Appreciate it, and thank you, the Beefeaters, for having us.
Well, that'll wrap up the game for the London Beefeaters as they are victorious 49-0 over the Quinte Skyhawks, moving them to 5-2. They're back next week as they travel to Hamilton to take on the Hurricanes in what looks to be a preview of a first-round playoff match. Quinte falls to 2-6 in the year, but they'll likely get a playoff game against St. Clair in 2 weeks. As Ron said, and I will agree with, thanks for having us in your homes, watching some great OFC action. Thanks to everybody that's been a part of that, making sure these games were televised. We know that a lot of people appreciate being able to see it. The Beefeaters moved to 5-2 in the year, 1 game left. Hamilton Hurricanes next Saturday down in Hamilton, or possibly Brantford. I'm not sure where those games are being scheduled, but the Beefeaters are victorious. And tonight we had a lovely Saturday evening here in London. And as we sign off, we say thanks a lot for joining us, and hope to see you again in the playoffs in a couple weeks. Thanks a lot, everybody. Talk to you soon.